Cyclone, who I guess is the restreamer.
Cyclone!
So hi, everyone. Should be starting shortly here. My name's NitsGuy1, and with me, always, for the first time ever, is Muppets in Space on commentary. Good to
always
hear you,
for
Muppets.
the first time ever.
So we're here on Speed Gaming 2 with the weekly race, the second Friday weekly race. We have, I believe, 30 entrants, 29, maybe 30. Lots of entrants, lots of good stuff coming your way over the next few hours. So definitely sit back, relax, enjoy the ride. The race has started, so we're just waiting on the restream to catch up here. And you'll see them go live with everybody's favorite Tella. Everybody loves Tella. And he's paired up with the child, Rydia, and a Baron Key King. So this could definitely go a variety of ways. The seed that they're doing is an NFL 1, so no free lunch 1. So that means they won't be able to go to Mysidia to get 2 free characters there. They'll basically have to fight a boss or trigger a cutscene or something in order to be able to get a new character to their party. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how the runners play out. We're just having some minor pausing here so that the streams are all synced up as well as we possibly can do. So we do see Billbotics is going to go and check out who is waiting at the Baron Inn, and it is our boy Kane waiting with, I believe, Miss Dragon, it looks like. He's going to skip that for now.
We got Mike over there going right into Baron Castle with that Baron Key. He's not even waiting.
Nope. So definitely a bold strategy. As you can see, everybody seems to be doing their own thing. And you'll typically get that in FF4 FE randomizers. Everybody's looking for that edge. You know, sometimes it's a gamble. Sometimes you pick up dark matter. Don't pick up dark matter. As some streamers have done. It is a waste. If you've never seen this randomizer before and they're just here for the very first time, definitely know that it is just a little bit different. It basically starts you with the the airship, and it's an open world. You can go pretty much everywhere. You don't have to be linearly with the story in regards to that. So,
and the segments that open up for you are locked behind certain key items. Like, for example, Mike has just gone to Baron. He wouldn't have been able to do that without the Baron key, just like you wouldn't be able to in vanilla. But those key items are in random spots.
There, you always get, well, at least with these flags, you'll always get a key item because it's a K1 seed when you first do start the game. So some people look for items. Some people look to get characters. It's all a matter of preference. As you can see, 4 different things going on at 4 different times. Natara's decided to take on Miss Dragon, which appears to be hitting her like a large truck, and Natara's decided...
Yeah, she's bound out of that one.
That's a nope, and that'll happen a lot in this randomizer. You'll run into a boss when you'll be like, yeah, that was fun. Let's move on to somewhere else in regards to that.
Well, Mike is about to approach the Bagan spot over here. He's going down into the prison, which doesn't have anything. I think he may have forgotten that. But he's heading up the stairs and over into the Bagan spot for a boss encounter right there. And actually, Natara's got a boss encounter of her own.
It's Elements with Sid. So you're going to see here, we see 2 different battles going on. It's Mylon Z. It's tough to say that's right. It's either Mylon or Mylon Z.
It's Mylon Z.
It's Mylon Z. So we'll see how this works out for Mike. Because
Now,
because that's Baigan, so I think he has like 5,000 HP. Or...
4,444.
Well, look at that. New guy Muppets with all the knowledge. I'm
not even a little bit.
So yeah, as you can see here, it's not going well for either of them. As you can see, Rydia and Teller are having a nap. Natara does get through.
She uses that Zeus Rage. That is a JP content item. Casts, I believe, Lit 3 on everything. Is that correct?
I believe it's Lit 2.
Lit 2, yeah.
I believe
She waited until the elements went into their Keinazu phase. Used it because in a Keinazu phase, it's weak to thunder.
Absolutely. So it does help if you have some knowledge of the vanilla game, but even if you've never played the vanilla game, there are people here who I don't think have ever speedrun the game, and they do quite well, like Supremacy. I think finished 8th or 9th in the Monday race, and I don't think he ever picked up the vanilla game, so definitely it's for anyone. J2 is a little bit different than at least people in the West might be used to. So J2 gives you the Japanese items that were taken out of the US release, as well as the Japanese skills. So like Cecil's Dark Wave, Fusoya's regen.
Yang's Power and Bear.
Yes, thank you. Palom's Bluff, etc., etc. So you'll see some items that you might not know what they are. Definitely Supremacy, unfortunately, using Lit on Mylon at elements, and that will heal him. But fortunately, he doesn't have a ton of HP in this spot because he's in the Mom Bomb spot, so he is through there. And that is definitely
Mom Bomb has 1,400 hit points.
Fun fact, do not talk in the rando to any of the mages in Mysidia. Just don't do it, as you can see. They turn you into frogs. I learned this offline once.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Now, I don't think that, unfortunately, Mike is trying to underflow Tella's MP, but he should realize if you look at the flags, the glitchless flag is on. So I think maybe he just finally realized it.
Yeah.
So really unfortunate there. He's going to reset. Yeah, so it's really important to know which flags do what. If you go to ff4-free-enterprise.com and type in the flags you see there, you'll see what they're playing with, and there are a multitude of options and a multitude of seeds, so you can never play the same game twice.
And now we have Natara going into the Antlion Cave, which is a pretty good early spot because there are an awful lot of treasure chests that have the chance for some high-tier items and a boss that's fairly easy to deal with. The Antlion spot has about 1,000 hit points to contend with, so with just about any party, you should be able to take care of it, but she's going around on a little treasure hunt right now, gathering as many items as she can.
Question chat from ETAP, could he not unfrog there? For some reason, it wasn't really communicated. Normally, when you go to Mysidia with Cecil as a Dark Knight, anytime you talk with any of the mages, they will turn you into a pig, turn you into a frog. Even though we don't have Cecil in the party, I don't know if that's just a behavior that's left in there. Like I said, I learned it one day, so I just don't talk to them. So you have to use heal to unfrog yourself.
We got Bill Boddix back in the Elements fight. It seems like everyone's pretty much finding their way to Mount Hobbs right now to grab Sid and do the Elements encounter.
That is definitely the right play to do. You want to get as many characters as you can. Hopefully, better characters than what you're currently with Tella and Rydia. As they're pretty squishy.
And now Supremacy is in Fabul, and he's about to enter the encounter that would normally be the Fabul Gauntlet, the 5 to 6 encounter gauntlet. Let's see what he gets here.
Yes, in this one, it could in theory be the gauntlet or it could be the Mylon fight. So he's
Mylon
got,
and Gast times 4.
yes, so he has those Gaia drums, which cast Quake, which are really useful because if you actually kill Mylon first and leave the Ghast alive, it seems as though in the game they hit like a truck. So
Yeah, their
wanna get rid of
AI changes to like jack their attack power up by a ton.
yeah, I didn't learn this until I started running this rando. So
I learned
learned
that the hard way.
same here. And looks as though Odin was in the Antlion Cave, and Natara was rewarded with a pink tail. So congrats to her.
Both Natara and Supremacy out of their respective encounters. Natara is exiting, casting the exit spell, which is a very crucial spell when you're racing here. You don't have to truck it all the way back out to the entrance. You can just cast a spell and you're out.
Also, Mike, I believe, picked up a crystal sword, so he might actually now be looking for Cecil. Sometimes, depending on the flags and depending on how things go, you don't want Cecil in your party just because of his agility and how it works. But the crystal sword, by far, is the most powerful sword in the game, even like way more than Excalibur. So, I'm curious to see what his thoughts are going to be. What he's going to be. He's going to turn encounters on. Again, I think he is forgotten.
Oh, he's forgotten the glitchless.
Yes, so he's trying to dupe to get money. So normally in the vanilla version, there is a item duplication glitch, which he is about to find out didn't work. So I believe Crow was responsible for finding the code to actually fix it so that you can't glitch it. So we have this flag available. And yeah, so I think he has again forgotten which flags he's on, which is really unfortunate.
Natara and Bill Bottix are in the same encounter now. They've both decided to go to the Baron Inn and do the Baron Guards fight at this point in time. They got through the initial counter with Derek Mist. And now they're fighting King and Queen Eblon in the karate spot.
Nice. I did not notice that. It's so hard. There's so much action going on.
There sure is. Hey, that's why I'm here, man. That's why I'm here.
Appreciate it. Supremacy has run into Dark Knight Cecil, so he may or may not be happy about that. If he hasn't picked up the crystal sword, he'll probably.
That's the Rydia you killed my mom animation.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So now he has to take Dark Knight Cecil to Kaipo in order to finish that off. Kane, depending on who you ask, is a top 5 character, is not a top 5 character, but when you get the Darkness Crystal out of it, it's definitely worth it.
And speaking of Darkness Crystal, here we are. Natara and Bill Bottix both get the Darkness Crystal. It allows them access to the moon, as well as access to a free character in the Fusoya spot. And we'll see what they decide to do at this juncture.
And just wanted to point out really quickly, some people might be asking, well, when they're walking around, why aren't they getting any encounters? There's a flag E3, which you did see Mike go into, where you can turn encounters on and off. So just in case people didn't know in regards to that, if you're just tuning in. Again, I feel really bad for Mike. I think he thinks he's messing up this dupe, but he can try this.
He's actually executing the dupe moves very well. It's just
it's not going to work. You can try it forever, and I think he just hasn't realized. And it is really unfortunate. I feel really bad. Natara's spinning back around using the Baron key, while Bobotics has decided, I'm going to go to the moon, because on the moon, there is a free character. Even though it's no free lunch, there will still be someone in the Fusoya spot. So curious to see who will be there. There can be duplication of characters. So it could be Edward, could be another Tella. He's hoping for someone better than that. Some people like Yang. I've heard he might be the second best character in the game.
I
There
love
is
Yang.
also the item shop in the Hummingway Cave. If you never played in vanilla, there's one Hummingway who actually can sell you stuff. So he might be looking for the pass there. He might be looking for other cool items there. As we see Bilbotics selling some stuff, he does have the crystal sword, so he's probably on the lookout for DKC, so which he doesn't know at this point is actually available in Mist if he had got the package.
So going back up to Supremacy. Supremacy over here is doing a little shopping. He's trying to figure out if he's got any gear that's worthwhile to grab for his characters. And maybe his new character, Dark Knight Cecil, as he picked Cecil up after getting the package.
So spoilers, DK Cecil, even unfortunately in the randomizer, still garbage.
Yeah, his one redeeming quality is that he can become not Dark Knight Cecil.
This is true, which is why he has smartly decided to take the walk up ordeals. Normally you would get a character here, but in NFL 1, the spot where you would see Tella up the mountain, you will have no character there. So, yes, thank you, Duke Firebird, in chat for helping me out with those. And so we do see Natara. She's going to go and fight Mylon Z. As we see Bilbotics, we're going to find out who lives on the moon. My money is on Yang, but the smart money might be on Edge.
I think Vanilla Food. Yeah, so I'm calling it.
You're calling it? We will find out very, very shortly.
Wager.
Totally randomized.
Totally randomized. Come on.
Yeah. We'll see here.
What's it gonna be?
That's it. I'm very excited. Oh, it's Edge.
Oh,
Bilbotics is rewarded.
Oh, that's a huge pull.
That is big. Edge is arguably the best character in the game. Arguably. There are some who might say are there better characters, but he has some pretty sweet gear to start. He can use the throw command, and he can do some real damage against Z. So
I want to highlight something up in the upper right-hand corner. Supremacy is making his way up Mount Ordeals right now. He's just done the first boss fight where you would normally see Mylon and the Ghasts. And he found CPU in that area. And what he did to fight CPU is use just a boatload of Gaia drums. He just used Gaia drum after Gaia drum and wore it out. And that is one thing that the Japanese version items really give you an edge on over not having them. You can have a lot of these kinds of things like Lit Bolt, what he's about to throw down there, for situations where you have characters who are drastically underleveled and underpowered for high-level boss fights. And you can see this Gaia drum going off right now. 488. In that spot, it's 488, 500 is going to be tough to deal with, but he'll eventually get through that encounter.
Hopefully. In that spot, Mylon Z has 4,000 HP? No, 3,800.
Yeah, I think it's somewhere around 4K. It's a little under 4K. And, oh, God. What is Mike? Mike is dealing with Golbez down there.
I don't even know how he got Golbez. Where is he?
I think he's in Mist Cave.
Oh, yes, because for some reason he went into Mist Cave. I think he's looking for Mist Dragon, but...
Yeah, he might be.
Spoilers, it's rando. So in this spot, I feel like... Yeah, if Tella's only doing 5 against Golbez, you're in trouble.
Golbez casts level 3 spells and Virus. Also Fire 2, I believe, is in his script as well.
Yeah, I also think Ice 2 is in his script. As you can see, it was a Rock'em Sock'em Robots fight, but Supremacy is through Kinazo.
That's right. Those J items, man, they're crucial.
Yeah, I love the Natara Poison Walk.
She just muscled through it.
She just, well, I mean, Rydia's Riddy is unfortunately expendable. Unfortunately, I know, sadness.
Well, depending on what you get, because it is a rando. But especially Child Rydia right now, not many hit points, not many magic points. There's not a whole lot you can do with that character unless you have access to something high level like Leviathan or Bahamut.
Yeah, exactly. Which we're going to see her fight against. It's going to be Bahamut, speaking of...
Right as Supremacy gets the item from the top of Mount Ordeals.
Which is a Luca key, so not much closer. Unfortunately, he's going to...
I think Natara's looking for star veils down there.
Yes, she's looking for something here at this point, because Kinazo Rock's about, I think, 3,800 HP.
Yeah.
Hopefully Kane can do some work here. Otherwise, that might be difficult. Although she is using Self here, so see how that works out.
560, that's good.
Yeah, it might be.
Good.
Whoa, Kane not doing work. 121 will definitely...
It's got that Drain Spear.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, Drain Spear lowers all of your stats by 10. Is that correct?
It is correct.
Yeah. So while you will deal as much damage as you heal with the Drain Spear, it's not going to be much. And there's the Mega Nuke.
Yeah, Bahamut doesn't play around. He gives you basically 5 seconds.
He counts you to 5, and then he sends you to your room.
Yeah, pretty much. Hey, better than Wyvern, who just kind of opens up and says...
Wyvern's got a short fuse.
Absolutely. So Natara's going to try it again.
I think W is on this one.
W is on, so actually it will not open with Mega Nuke, but will still wall himself and hit you with Nuke, so it's almost as bad. As you can see, Supremacy has turned Cecil into a Paladin and immediately equipped that Crystal Sword and gone to a casual 206 attack power.
Yeah, NBD.
Yeah, it's just, easy peasy, easy game for him. So look for him to take Cecil to the finals. I just lost my train of thought for a second there. Because again, the way the game is built, when Cecil's in your party, for most encounters, mostly for Zero Miss, it takes Cecil's agility into account. Otherwise, it takes whoever's in the middle slot. So you want someone relatively slow to have the end boss, mostly for Zero Miss, slow. It doesn't usually affect a lot of the other monsters, but bosses, I should say.
I have a feeling that's going to come up a little later in this as well.
Yes, absolutely. So, again, there are some struggles, but I think Supremacy, at least of our streamers, ones who are being restreamed, is ahead at this point.
Yeah, it's really hard to say because Natara and Bilbotics each have a couple of other key items up there, but Supremacy has a pretty full party, and he's got a Paladin Cecil that's stacked right now. So, just like in any other randomizer, it's pretty much anyone's game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's definitely not over by any stretch of the imagination, but and who knows? There are 25 other runners we can't see. So
yeah.
Yes. So someone was nice enough in the chat to let my own Mike know that the glitches flag was on. So we should stop seeing that from him. But unfortunately, he would be a little bit further behind trying to take that time, as he wasn't aware. Because we do use a 1.1 ROM. The only difference between 1.1 and 1.0 is the mimic glitch, which is used by the twins.
Yeah.
So beyond that, all the other glitches remained intact. So yeah, Fire 3 against a D Mist while it's in Derek Mist is in Mist form, does nothing. So pro tip.
Yeah. You have to wait until Derek has something to say. There he goes. Now he's of substance, and Cecil's going to whack him down for 560 casual.
Yeah, and he's level 1 Cecil. So,
And now
doing
he's level 9,
560.
Cecil.
Yeah, so you can only imagine as he runs up against King and Queen Evelyn. So him getting Kane will definitely help him out. I keep forgetting that Bilbotics does have Edge.
Yes, he does. Look, and Natara up there just talked to Rydia's dead mother. When you beat the D-Mist, and the actual boss D-Mist, regardless of where it is, it opens that spot up there in the Village of Mist. You talk to Rydia's deceased mother, and you will get one of the key items from her. That's one that actually tripped me up the first time I had to deal with these flags.
I as well, I had forgotten. So Hook is important. This opens up a way to the underground for Natara. She can go through Eblin Castle, which we might see her do next. We might also see her cash in the Pinktail for a free adamant armor. First, she has to go to Damsian to get it, but she's decided that she's going to do Fabul instead. Bilbotics picking up the Hook, also smartly, as we see Mike fighting the first boss in CPU here. Should be okay. I say should be, because you never know. He's only got 2 party members. Daggers. Excuse me, he does, but he only has 2 party members. So
yeah, he does only have 2 party members. It's looking pretty rough for this encounter as he's throwing down some attacks on the attacker on the CPU. Fun fact about the CPU fight is, just like in the vanilla game, if you kill the attacker and defender orbs in front of the CPU will give you about maybe 1 or 2 breaths, and then it'll start hitting you with an ability called Globe 199, which does anywhere between 9995 and 9999 to a single target, and he'll do it twice.
Yeah, just to make sure.
Yeah, and since you only got 2 party members right there, that would be GG's. And
we do see Bilbotics getting his free adamant armor. So in the vanilla game, if you were good enough to farm pink puffs for forever in that one... I wasn't. That one part, I wasn't either. You could get a pink tail and you can come back to these 2 little guys in the Adamant Grotto, and they will reward you with an adamant armor. Fun fact, the adamant armor is actually bugged. So once you equip it, do not unequip it from that person, as it will make you weak to elements that you can't see. So basically just pick who you want and then and go. Yep. If you ask Dravenheart, it is quite a low chance. She farmed them, I think, for 2 days once on stream to get one. It was fun to watch, but also, yeah, the drop rate is quite low. Still nobody in go mode yet. Close. They're looking for the crystal at this point. As Bilbotics, Natara, and Supremacy do have the darkness crystal, so as a worst case scenario, they could go to the moon and they could take the long walk down, which might end up being faster than trying to find the pass, which is out there somewhere.
Hey, and Mike, there he goes. He just took out CPU with that dancing dagger after a grueling, as you put it, rock'em and sock'em robots, 7-minute CPU fight. First fight in Mountain Ordeals.
Yeah, he'll only have Kinazo after this. So, the pass shop was found. I did not see that. Thank you so much, chat. You are the best. Oh, that's good that it was in vanilla spot. So, totally randomized. Because the pass shop actually acts as a full shop, but so that would tell me that Bill is in a go mode of sorts, and I think the only reason why I didn't notice is because the tracker didn't have pass updated.
Yeah.
I'm not throwing anyone under the bus.
Neat guy, just running him right over.
I'm pretty sure he would have bought it. If he didn't buy it, Bilbotics, I'm calling you out. You find the money. Yeah, you sell what you need to get that pass. Because
that's true. Yeah.
You can walk down Nobody wants to walk down.
There's Neat's guy just backing that bus up to run somebody else over, man. Here it comes.
Poor Cassidy. I feel so bad. I didn't mean to run you over, Cassidy. I hope we're still cool. So, yeah, unfortunately, Mayo Mike running into Kinatsu, who has decided to just one-shot Rydia, and Lit 1 is just not going to cut it. So...
Yeah, he could deal with this if he had enough magic power to do it, and magic points to do it, but sadly, all he's got is the 90, and that's never going to change for Tella. He always has 90 MP, no matter how hard you level him. So there's another fun fact about that character. So with 90 MP, he's only got a handful of lit ones to contend with, and down he goes.
All right. Thank you, Cassidy. I apologize. I take back everything I said. So pass is in Troya, but Bilbotics decided, and I'm going to call out Bilbotics for this. When you find the pass shop, you find the money. If you have to sell everything, because it's a big game, and unless you're writing this down somewhere, I don't know if he is or not, you could forget. And then you could be just like losing your mind trying to find where in the world you need to be. So
just to go over this a little bit for anyone who doesn't quite have themselves familiar with this, I don't know who that could be, but the pass is particularly important here because it offers you a path straight to the Zeromus fight. It's a don't pass go, don't collect $200, and no going back path to the Zeromus fight from Toria.
Exactly. Normally in the vanilla game, the pass takes you to the adult entertainment club, we'll call it. And but in this game, Boardface was nice enough to actually give us a warp to the end boss. It's pretty cool.
Zeromus is adult entertainment.
He is.
Yeah.
Of some sort. Pass is confirmed. Thank you so much. So he did get the pass this time.
He did get the pass. Okay.
He did.
So we're backing the bus up again. Got it.
All right. No. There's no bus. So Supremacy is through. I'm curious. He has picked up the rat tail. So sometimes this game can take you down, the rabbit hole, so to speak, where you've got to go here to go there, to do this, to do that, and do a little dance. And unfortunately, it looks like maybe this might be one of those seeds.
Yeah, it is definitely looking that way.
Because now he's got the rat tail. Now, if he had Hook, which he might be taking care of, he might not be taking care of. It looks like he's not at this point. But knowing that, the rat tail will turn in for a key item. Whereas the pink tail just turns in for classic adamant armor. So we do see Natara buying some Bacchus wines. Everybody likes... Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Selling 2 of 3 crystal swords that she had for a colossal amount of money.
Oh my god, she had 3 crystal swords?
3 crystal swords and 2 crystal armors, too.
What a giving seed.
Yeah.
3 crystal swords. You don't even have 3 people who can use it.
There's the pink tail.
Yeah, and the sad part is Edge cannot throw the crystal sword, so it's very sad.
I never understood that.
Swift Poke, welcome to FF4 Randomizer. There's a flag, so if you look in that big string of flags, there's something called E3. You can turn the encounters on and off. So if they wanted to grind for levels, they could do that if they wanted to, and then they could also turn them off at any time.
I have a feeling we're actually going to see that function in this seed, given that we have the darkness crystal.
There's still a chance for sirens, so in J1 or J2, sirens will trigger an automatic battle. There are some tiles in the underground where you can use these sirens to trigger a rare encounter to basically get a lot of experience. So, Justice, if you want to turn off the dashing, That's X, not X2. That's Y2. If you want to go slow.
There we go. Bill Boddix just turned in the rat tail, and he received the pan for his trouble. So I think it's going to be one of those seeds where it takes him up and then down, and then up and then down.
So now he has Hook. He does have access to Underground, but he's got to go through the Eblin Cave. So this, I mean, it could be a 17 seed. I truly hope not, but it's...
we're going to be close. We're going to be close, I think.
Yeah, I feel like, the game's going to just run you around in circles. Oh, you want dash in your stock cart. Well, Justice, what you want to do is speak with the development team and put it in a suggestion box. And I'm sure they'll come out with version 1.2 and fix that.
There we go.
I think we are on a Hook seed here. So for those
Bill Boddix just went down to Eblon right there, the little cave town, and bought some coffins at the local item shop. And what those coffins do is they cast Fatal on a single target. One shot kills anything that's vulnerable to it. And now he's using something called an Hourglass. Hourglass 3, it casts Stop on every enemy in front of him. So now he can just sit there and go Slappy Go Jackie on both of those Stalemen. And they just have to sit there and take it.
Pretty much. He bought the coffins. He's looking for the sirens. So basically, when you use the siren in this one spot, it triggers an egg. This egg has about 2,000 HP, 1,800, but is weak to Fatal. So all you have to do is use your coffin. It doesn't hatch. It doesn't turn into a yellow dragon, and you get 34,000 experience. So...
And we'll probably see that particular function come out at least one of these.
Only if the siren's available. So far, I haven't seen it yet.
Bill Boddix just picked up a Stardust Rod, which, when you equip it to a Black Mage, adds, I believe, plus 15 Wisdom, which increases your magic power for any damage spells that you're casting.
Yes, Marlisi, you're right. The egg can back attack or surprise the party, and that has to do with, from what I've been told, it has to do with the RAM value when it functions at, and I've heard that there's some way to manipulate that, but it's almost all a pipe dream. So who knows? So we see the Silence Rod being equipped by Bill Boddix there. So casual there. Kane looks pretty decked out there. Rosa's about to be decked out here with the Protect Ring. We see Supremacy getting the whale, so I'm curious to see what his next move is going to be. We see Mike. I believe he's in Eblin Castle. Unfortunately, opening up these chests will not expose any key items because we are on a K1 seed.
It will expose some pretty nifty gear, though, because a lot of the trap chests, instead of having key items, have a higher potential for having things like an Avenger sword, a ribbon, something like that.
This is very true. This is very true. So we do see Natara here at the second battle at Keinatsu, and hopefully she is going to rearrange her party because it is a back attack just like in vanilla. But no, she's just gonna drink some wine and have Kane do his jump and not worry about it, I guess. So bold strategy. Sorry, go ahead.
Please continue.
So we see Bill Boddix. He is getting closer to who's hiding underground. As we saw Supremacy on the Moon, I was not looking at the shop to see...
Elixirs is what was for sale. Just elixirs in the moon.
Just elixirs. Casual elixirs. Looks as though it is Palom in the edge spot. I believe Palom is the green and Porum is the orange.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yeah, so...
I always forget that in game.
Same here. It's one of the twins. Well, we'll see what happens here. If it's Palom, I take him. I think he's a very underrated character.
Oh, absolutely. Palom's underrated for a few reasons. One of the and
he decided now.
Decides now. Well, he put some effort into Rydia. One of the reasons why people often choose Palom is because he learns certain spells at a lower level. I believe level 19 for Virus, level 22 for Quake, both of which are incredibly useful early game for dealing with hordes of enemies.
They absolutely are. Quake and Virus are pretty OP, especially with his magic power. You put some decent gear on him, and he's doing like 1k plus damage, which is at that level is pretty ridiculous.
23 for Quake. Thank you, Determined.
Thank you. Not surprisingly, Supremacy decided to take Edge along for the ride and said, "Sid, it's been fun. You wait here." So we do see Mike here, still continuing to open chests. Got a Star Veil there. Got some items there. Also, with the change in Free Enterprise, you can park the Lunar Whale wherever you want. Those bumps, those craters, they've installed some sort of self-leveling device. So
such a good change.
It is. It's such great. A Demerine.
Oh boy, Bill Boddix.
Oh, with Val, he's got Kane, so
he does have Kane, which will help.
Yeah, definitely. So Val, depending on where she is, can definitely be a difficult fight, especially if you don't have Kane, because you do want to take her out of Tornado. You can still do damage to her, but she is pretty much immune to magic attacks while she's in her wind form, pretty much. I could be wrong, but that's all good. We're all learning. And as you can see, Val hitting like a truck.
Oh man!
Sit down for the count like a bag of potatoes.
Oh, and she
take
takes
a nap.
Kane out.
It's all going to be up to Edge. The clutchness. 1989, is that enough? Ooh, as we see Supremacy go to Bahamut. Oh, so much action. So much action.
Oh, now Bill Boddix is trying to run buffer his way through. Oh, and he nails it.
Oh.
Absolutely nails it.
He got it.
Yeah.
And let's see what his reward is.
Just like in Vanilla, you have two fights. That spot is the King-Queen Eblon fight, and then after that is the Rubicent fight. And just like in Vanilla, before this second fight, you get a full heal.
Yes, it's the game is very generous. The guards in this spot are actually not quite as easy as they look, because they hold Ruby's damage. Or not Ruby's damage, Ruby's HP. So as you can see, shout out to 420. Shout out to 240.
Hey!
And Natar's realized that she can pick up Cecil, so hopefully she's held on to those crystal swords.
Bill Boddix just cast Mute on the guards. The guards, as you may or may not know, have a couple of counterattacks. Anytime you cast magic on them, they counter with Piggy, and anytime you attack them physically, they counter with Size. If you mute them, they can't do that, and so you can attack them without fear of those counterattacks.
It is a strategy I do not use, but it is a very good strategy.
Mute has a middling accuracy. Sometimes it hits and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, I think that's why I don't.
Yeah, it often works for me. Oh, and I didn't see that Bill Boddix had Bahamut.
So yeah, so casual Bahamut should...
Speaking of casual, there's 6,000 damage from Edge right now.
And he didn't die. I told you, the guards have a lot of HP. I think Ruby has 20k, so they would be split.
Yeah,
something happened.
That's about right.
I'm not sure what happened to Mike's stream. He appears to have gone offline in the SRL channel. So
I believe that's a forfeit.
I haven't seen of an official forfeit yet, but
no, it's not a forfeit.
No,
it's not a forfeit. Yay, he's still here.
Is that nope? There was no forfeit. He got disconnected from IRC, okay. So he might have just had internet problems. You know, it's tough.
Boy,
So
do I
again,
know.
Natara finishing out the scene here to pick up Rydia, and oh look, it's vanilla. Is this even randomized?
Yeah, I don't know.
So
I don't know.
this fight is utterly a joke, as you'll see here. 582. Look at that.
In the speed run of this, I believe you're fighting this at level 11 with Dark Knight Cecil or something.
Yeah, you use a series of run buffers basically to. You only have to kill the first 3 guards and then the officer retreats, but it's faster to just kill the officer and move yourself on there. So as you can see, Bilbotics has gone through. He picks up Falcon. So he picks up Falcon, so now he can drill his way up, but he's got the pan. He's going down this rabbit hole where hopefully the pan will pan out, so to speak.
He said it.
So, but it's super important because Sheila, aka Yang's wife in this version, will give you 2 items. So, give you 1 item because she's sad that he's in the underground because you found him, and then step 2, you got to hit him with the pan. So
right now what he's doing is when he talks to him, that thing that says nothing happened, the moment he does that, it actually triggers Sheila's ability to give you the first key item. And then when he selected the pan and whacks Yang over the head with the pan, that triggers her ability to give him the second key item. And wow, was that a Mirazame?
That is just
Murasame?
Casual Mirazame.
Yeah.
Just Mirazame. Just a good sword.
Wow.
For Ed. Just a good sword. You know. No big deal.
Yeah,
Oh,
NBD.
So I see Bilbotics, I was wondering if he was going to do this. So there's a free item here in the Land of Summoned Monsters that is really easy to get to. I always go and get this whenever I possibly can because it's a free item. You don't have to fight anyone, and it doesn't take too long, and it's not too far out of the way to pick up.
We're about to see it right here, actually. So he didn't open those treasure chests because one of them is trapped and can get him into an encounter with 5 warriors. And because he was walking over damage tiles, everybody's at 1 HP. So he didn't want to risk that. Didn't open any of those. But any of the treasure chests that he sees in this town or in the little wooden plank area before the town, they can't have any traps in them, so he can open them freely.
So the suspense is building as he comes back to this chest, and it's a sand ruby. Hey, we can go, and I forget who's sleeping in.
I don't think we saw.
In Kaipo. No, I don't think so either.
Yeah. So in vanilla, you use the sand ruby over Rosa, and it cures her fever. But in this, it could be anybody.
So Bilbotics has picked up 1 siren. So far, this is the first siren sighting that I've seen.
I wonder if he's going to go for it. Think he's going to go for it?
I don't know. It would be to his advantage with the X2 flag to only do it when you have 10 key items.
Maybe
so
he's
far,
looking for more right here.
Yeah. It could be here. It could also be... Nope.
Star Veils and Moon Veils.
I mean, yeah. Star Veils and Moon Veils, nothing to joke at. So basically, like, free wall. Instant cast, so no big deal.
He thought about trashing some items and then realized he was right in front of an item shop and could just sell them.
Yes.
So here he goes, selling out.
Yeah. Hey, money beats no money, as we've learned. Hey, if I can get 1 gold for something, give me that gold. And get some free inventory. He's based on his current party's configuration. I'm not surprised he didn't look at the armor and weapon shops.
Oh, yeah.
As we see Natara basically deck out Cecil there at level 1 with all crystal gear. No big deal.
Yes, level 1 tank. Actually, I think Natara's Cecil is level 17 right now or something like that. Yeah.
And jackpot for Bilbotics, he has found his sirens. This seems to be a common refrain with the J flags is find these sirens, grind your characters. He still needs the crystal. They still need to find this crystal. So is he going to decide this is a party I want to take with me? or not. Because it would make no sense to grind up your party to turn around and then pick up another character. So
Bilbotics just dropped down a cabin. I think he's wondering if it's time to grind or not. He's moving the sirens up to the top of his inventory right now, and he's getting into an encounter outside of the dwarf castle? This is a spot that I haven't seen anyone do before.
No, typically there are 3 tiles right at the edge of the map. Maybe he forgot.
So the way that Siren works is it enters you immediately when you use it. It enters you into the rare encounter for whatever tile set you're standing on. There it is. And that tile set that he just landed at, that little itty-bitty sliver of land over there, that gets you into the random encounter with the egg. The aforementioned egg that hatches into a yellow dragon. But Edge is going to use coffins to kill it in one shot. And what that does is it gives him 34,000 experience.
Because, in that spot, there are 5 encounter packs, but the Siren gives you the rare yellow dragon encounter, which gives you the most experience.
And so he's checking Sid's stats right now. Can you explain why he's checking Sid's stats, Neat Sky?
So he's checking Sid's stats probably for Zeromus's fight. So again, there's a calculator made by some guy called F. Coughlin, who the community may know about. He made this great agility calculator, and basically the TLDR on it is you want Sid's agility to be 14. He's really trying to get Sid's agility to 14, because then when he fights Zeromus, he will have basically the perfect speed, which will be a speed of 1. And all of his other characters will go much faster, which means more attacks for him, less attacks for whoever Z is. And so I think that's what he's doing, because Sid will gain enough HP to survive any Big Bang by the time he does get to that. But I think there he goes. So now he might actually, now that he has that, I wouldn't be surprised to see Sid take a nap at some places. Fred is an OG.
The reason why we're talking about Sid in this spot is not because of the character specifically, it's because of the slot that he's in, the center slot.
So again, if you don't have Cecil in your party, the game determines everybody's basically speed based on the agility of whoever's in that spot, or it's also known as spot 1. Don't ask me why the middle spot is spot 1. That's programming genius, courtesy of FF4.
Because FF4.
Yes. Thank you, Z-Man, for dropping the calculator in. It's a lot of science. Basically, the people who run the game basically know that 14, 28 are good numbers. 42 if you're insane. Any other number other than that seems to really create a difficult Z fight. During the race on Monday, I could not get Sid to 14. He was 13, and it was a challenge. Versus the week before that, definitely was not a challenge. So far, I just want to update everybody. Nobody has completed. Nobody has got done. So, still anybody's race.
So Bill Boddix just talked to Sheila, got the legend sword, and then turned in the pan to her for a spoon.
Oh boy, 17 to 17.
We're looking at it, man.
It's still possible, but to have to dive, especially glitchless. So in glitchless, normally if you go to the dwarf castle and you cast warp, you can warp and get what's in the sealed cave, but they can't. So Bill Boddic's not quite sure what he wants to do. He has not done ordeals yet, though, so he's wondering maybe the key item is here. He has not done ordeals. This is interesting. Maybe he just
Natara opening chests in Eblon Cave right there. Gets into the Stale Man encounter.
And she's just gonna, just tough it out. Because Cecil do 1470, no problem.
Casual
1500.
But Rydia's 69 damage takes it down.
Nice.
It's all about that dragon whip.
Yep. Dragon Whip OP, please nerf. But still, Snailman still hits hard, as you can see there.
Yeah, it took Rosa down in one shot.
Yeah. And fortunately, the X2 flag does not split the party experience. But unfortunately, because Rosa was dead, she did not gain any experience for that fight. I still see Mike 54 minutes in, still with 2 characters. I am worried for him at this point. I hope that
he's doing the cutscene at Mount Hobbs right now to have Rydia learn Fire 1 by casting Fire on the ice wall. Fun fact, that's the only way that Rydia can learn Fire 1, is if you complete that cutscene.
No, Z-Man as Duke Firebird was nice enough to say, Mom has Hook. It looks like it's a Hook required seed at this point.
Yep.
And it's almost looking 17-17.
So Bill Boddix just used a siren on Mount Ordeals, and now he's attacking Sid because he wants Sid to take a nice little nappy poo through the next fights, because he does not want Sid to gain any more experience. For Sid, experience means a better chance of getting more agility, and as Neat Sky was saying before, you start getting off of that 14 agility, and then that means bad things for your Zeromus fight.
Atheus, if you join the FF4 FE Discord, there is a great beginner's guide in there. There's a newbie chat. I don't have the link super handy. I know, bad commentator, but I'm sure somebody has it. Thank you, Z-Man.
Casual
always coming through in the clutch. Glass helm. Best physical helm in the game.
Yep. Offers absolutely no magic defense, offers a boatload of physical defense.
Yeah. So, depending on who you want, sometimes I stick it on Kane just because I can.
Just because who doesn't like overkill?
Exactly. This is what I love about this.
Whoa.
Just a casual adamant for Natara.
Oh.
No bad.
So Natara's search has rewarded her with a second adamant armor, if she so chooses to use it.
No big deal.
NBD.
Just easy game, guys. Everybody join. Adamant armors for everyone. Crystal swords for everyone. And
that's right. This game is the Oprah Winfrey of adamant armors.
Pretty much. 3 crystal swords, 3 adamant armors, a Palom, which I know that Natara is not going to take.
Oh, she doesn't like the twins?
She's not a big Palom fan. Although she could prove me wrong. She could absolutely prove me wrong.
I'm kind of holding my breath well.
Maybe I...
Let's find out. What's she going to do?
Because again, Palom is really, he has a lot of magical power. He does nukes against Z for 8k, 9k, easy peasy.
Oh, she takes him!
Nice!
She takes him!
She must have heard me. She must have.
I don't think so.
So we see Supremacy is getting his very own Falcon, or her very own Falcon, I have no idea. Their very own Falcon, I should say.
Yeah.
Thank you, Draven. Just like Oprah, everyone gets an adamant. He is Z-Man. That's why I like him. He gets his spells early, and he does a boatload of damage, and he's slow. It's hilarious, but sometimes usually I have him in the middle. Oh yeah, casual 113. Rosa basically.
Natara throws an adamant armor down on Rosa. An adamant armor and a protect ring, so she doesn't want Rosa to go anywhere. She is basically a human mountain.
Pretty much. Maddie, Kenny, I'm not sure my Mike is getting screwed over. He had forgotten that there was a glitchless flag on, so he was trying some things you can do with glitch seeds, and it's tough to say. Everybody has their own skill level.
For myself, I would find that if my plans got a little bit jerked around with or something, it's sometimes hard in a randomizer to not kind of spiral a little bit and go like, I don't know what to do. And that comes with comfort and time, honestly.
No, exactly. And as Trenton noted in chat, NFL is, if you look at the website for Free Enterprise, they're in red. They are not beginner-friendly flags. So Mike might not realize or might have forgotten that there are no free characters in regards to that. But, you know, how do you learn? You play and you go through and you get better.
And seriously, props to him for actually going it hardcore, and during a restreamed race. That's ballsy, and you got to give props to somebody doing that.
It is. It's been pointed out. Some people are asking about Fusoya. There is F2 flags, so if we ever actually run into him, I haven't seen him yet. He will start with a low amount of HP, depending on how many bosses you've killed. And he will learn 3 spells for after every boss that you do kill. As it looks as though Supremacy is running into the Fabula Gauntlet at the Dwarf Castle. So, should not be too difficult, especially with Cecil doing casual 2k damage. So,
yeah, Bill Boddick's right down there is in the Sealed Gate Cave right now. And he's used that Luca key, so he wants to see what key item is behind door number 17.
Yes, he might get rewarded. It could be crystal behind here. It could also be magma key. Could be tower key.
It could be magma key. That's true.
It could be earth crystal.
Oh, what's it gonna be?
Oh, adamant. Oh boy. Oh jeez. Oh, and the reset.
Yep.
He's like,
now, why would he reset
sorry.
out of that? Why would he reset out of that? Because after you pulled that crystal, when you exit, you cannot cast the exit spell to get out of that, so you have to hoof it back. And when you do that, you are immediately struck by the boss encounter, which would normally be the evil wall. So he saved just outside to see whether or not it was worth it. And then he went with a good old reset when he got that fantastic gift of Adamant.
Yeah. But you pair it with that legend sword, which he does have, and boom, you get your very own Excalibur. But spoilers, he doesn't need that.
Yeah. He kind of has a crystal sword.
I was going to say, if he didn't have the crystal sword, maybe he fights it just to get the Excalibur, but with crystal already, it's pointless. Actually, he doesn't have Cecil in this party, so he doesn't care. I mean, and it's glitchless, so you know, there's Edge could throw it once, no big whoop.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Now, it being throwable, that's no small thing. You can usually throw it for about 6,500 against Zeromus, which definitely ups your damage output by a little bit for that one turn. But you can't throw stacks of them.
Yes, that is true, Z-Man. It does unlock the Smithy shop, but he already has a place to get elixirs, and he already has sirens. So I think in his world, as we see Supremacy, this is at the end of the Earth Cave, or not Earth Cave, the, the Dwarf Cave. So Fusoya is there. He decides, Fusoya, I don't need you, run away. I'm happy with my OP party. He's got Rosa, who basically is a tank.
And that's original crew right there. Supremacy's got the original crew.
That is very true.
Yeah, he's got the Fab Five.
He does. And easy peasy evil wall goes down like it's nothing. And he dismissed Fu. It is a bold move, Cotton. We'll see if this strategy pays off. You're calling Crystal at Dark Elf, Twin Harp behind Zot.
Oh wow.
That is a bold prediction, Duke.
So do we know what's behind the Dwarf Cave crystal room?
We're about to find out on Supremacy side, as he's going to walk down, and then the king's going to call him back and go, "Oh, hey, Luca.
What do you have,
necklace
Luca?
do you have?" Oh, magma key. Wow.
Now you
Oh,
can get to
baby.
the underworld.
Oh,
Wait.
yeah. Wait, you can already do that. So, oh my goodness. Yeah, definitely still no completers, which again is not surprising me based on how this seed is going to go. It's not going to be a 17 to 17. Bilbotics has already known that Adamant is somewhere, so he's only going to finish with 16. So much sadness. Rep 100%.
I mean, it's spiritually a 17 out of 17.
This is very true, Muppets. Very true. But we're going to see here. We're going to see how Bilbotics feels. Sometimes I feel like, sometimes as a runner,
Yeah, there he goes.
You're looking good. So, decided Fusaya, you're better than Rydia. We'll take you along.
No! Supremacy decided to open a chest in the fairy's hut. Those chests can have some of the encounters here, and that's bad news. He gets into a 2 mobile fight with everyone at 1 HP except Cecil.
But
Cecil's
Cecil's a wizard. What can I say? 2880. Easy game.
Oh no!
It's so close.
Oh, this is so clinchy. And there it
Oh,
goes.
he's in there. Oh,
Almost punished for that one.
wow. Almost.
And he gets a lunar staff for his clinchy moment.
Yeah. Man, that's gutsy.
Oh,
you know what he's gonna love more? When he takes the pan back to Sheila and is rewarded with playing more of the game.
Hey, it's its own reward, Neats Guy.
It is very true. You know,
I mean,
sometimes I think Robotics is thinking, I don't want to take the Magna Key. You know what? you keep it. And at this point, you just got to wonder, he's thinking, man, I've gone through everything. It's almost like runners don't want to do Tower of Babel, which I agree, and runners don't want to do Zod, which I also agree.
Well, it depends on the flags you're running, because Tower of Babel, if you're running a K3 or K4, that's a little different because you got trap chests that you can search. But K1, none of those trap chests are going to have anything you're looking for, and it is a climb getting up and down that thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, why did he do that, Z-Man? We'll have to ask him. That's a great question, because it could have been Rip right there.
I could give you insight as to why I did that once, and that's because I didn't think you could have trapped chests in the Sylvan hut. I thought it was like the first floor of the Land of Summoned Monsters, where you couldn't get into encounters in those chests. And I was proven horribly wrong, just like Supremacy was.
Yes, I didn't know that either, so I just avoid that. No, Alexa, so far there have been no finishers. It's looking like a figurative 17 of 17 seed.
Yeah, we're close, huh?
We're very close. Bill's up to, I believe, 13. I could be wrong. I'm counting Adamant for his purposes.
Oh, you gotta.
Yeah.
I mean, he's seen it.
Yes. Yeah. Alexa, Bilbotics went into the sealed cave and was rewarded with Adamant and decided to nope out of that.
Oh! So we've got a little something special here with Bilbotics at the top of the Tower of Babel right there.
Got DK Cecil, who...
Yikes.
is not pretty in this spot. It's by no means, a slam dunk, but...
So we got free lunch, and that means that 3 attacks from him, just like in vanilla, and then you will be told that justice is not the only right in this world. And then he will just go bye-bye.
As long as you survive those 3 attacks.
As long as you survive those attacks.
Which it appears as though he's going to be okay. He's heading for about 300, but they've got more than enough. So
I have seen Dark Knight Cecil in the 4 Fiends spot hit for something in the vein of about a 900 to 1,000 per.
Yeah. Yes, Z-Man. Thankfully, it's not an NFL 2 seed. Had it been an NFL 2 seed, that actually turns into a very scary fight.
Oh, yeah. But luckily, this is a free encounter, and he's rewarded with the Earth Crystal for it.
Huzzah!
More game!
More game to play. You gotta wonder at this point. Again, just still looking at IRC, nobody has finished yet. There are 29 runners. We wanted to.
I think the wondering has stopped here. I think we're pretty sure this is a 17er.
Well, I'm trying to think positive.
Gotta think positive.
I'm trying. There are some really good runners who we always want to showcase a wide variety of runners when we do these races. So there are some really good runners. The part of the dev team, Rivers McCallum is in this race. Elmagus is in this race. Niram is in this race, and none of them have finished. So that's telling me right now, unless something crazy is happening, we're probably looking at 17 or 17. Kobahi's in this race. He's really good. My goodness, so many good people. So many good people. It's insane.
All right.
Yeah,
so
no.
What do we got here on Bilbotic? So he's going for the Earth Crystal spot now.
Yeah. And it looks as though Supremacy is going to do his grind now, and then just face roll the rest, which is not at this point for him. He's basically as
he's all in. Yeah, Supremacy is all in with the party that he has. He's going to pop down a cabin right there, and then he's going to start throwing down sirens. So over in Supremacy's stream, you're going to see about probably 10 to 15 minutes of him fighting eggs. So we're going to leave him to it and check back in on Bilbotics and the Tower of Zot.
Yeah. So maybe the Tower of Zot will be kind to him. Who knows? Again, the E3 flag allows them to turn encounters on and off. But with the J flags on, it's much easier just to initiate this encounter because we know we'll get tons of experience. He has more than 10 items, so he's getting 68,000. So he can run that up probably faster than 10 minutes, I would say.
Yeah, the X2 flag is what makes that happen. When you have 10 key items or more, the game gives you double experience as well as accelerates any characters who are significantly lower in level than the party average.
I have Trenton. I grinded everyone up to about level 66 once, just to be sure. So you could. You're right. It's probably a little overkill, but I wanted to be sure. So it looks as though Natara's just selling some stuff there, living the dream.
Yeah, one of the fun things about this is because you're opening so dang many chests in this, inventory management becomes huge. It can actually be a time sink, a big-time time sink if you just sort of ignore your inventory and you don't really do a whole lot. So what Natara's doing here is she's offloading some stuff so that while she's opening more chests, she doesn't have to go into any of those pesky drop and recover menus after she opens each individual chest.
And we do have our first place finisher with Elmagus finishing with an official SRL time of 1:12:50. So GG to him.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to him. Again, still definitely a tough speed. Jolly Green Giant, just one so far at this point. But it'll be interesting. Muppets, I'm not playing.
Tricks of Shadows. I think what you saw was not necessarily a character. However, what you saw was Dark Knight Cecil as the encounter that you would normally see when he's facing himself in the mirror at the top of Mount Ordeals. So it was the boss battle, not the character. Easy mistake to make because they are exactly the same sprite.
No, exactly. So we do have Bilbotics against Mom Bomb here, which it shouldn't be a difficult fight. He's got Edge doing 3k easy. Mom Bomb's about to explode, but if he's good enough, this nuke will go off and Mom Bomb will die.
It takes an awful lot of damage to actually off Mom Bomb before she explodes, but there it is. He did enough.
I think it's 10k.
It's 10k? Is it 10k more than base hit points?
I believe it's 10k more than. I'm not 100%, but I feel like that's the case. So again, Supremacy continuing the egg grind, continuing to hammer up those levels. Cecil is going to be so fast.
He's going to be very, very fast.
That will be a fun fight to watch.
Bilbotics gets the tower key.
Rewarded. Play some more of the game.
There he goes.
So you were absolutely right, Z-Man. It looks pretty linear from this point. Unfortunately, that means a dip back into the Tower of Babel. But it looks like Bilbotics instead is just going to relax for a little bit and take care of his grinding.
It's time to make some omelets with Bilbotics.
Yes. So while we do that, we'll just flip over to Natar and see what she's going to do real quick here. She's going to go into Tarma and see what she can buy. We have Mile Mike, who's coming back to try and fight Golbez again. Hopefully he realized that when Shadow comes, two of his party members are going to die, sadly.
And that's how it is every time you run into Golbez. The only thing that can prevent that is if the Shadow Dragon targets anyone who's wearing a ribbon or an adamant.
Yes, this is true. So in most cases. And looks as though Supremacy is just going to use Cecil to just knock him off there. No need for Coffins anymore. And that's not the worst case scenario. Having Tella, which I notice here Mike has renamed Ramu in honor of Final Fantasy VI, obviously. I just noticed that.
I love it. I love it.
That's the best. Should be able to, I believe, nope. Golbez has decided that he should take a nap.
Yep, good night.
Yeah, and good night to everybody. I was going to say, all he needed to do was get a wall up, and he'd be good to go. But he hasn't finished the ordeal.
Looks done with his grind.
He does?
Supremacy.
I'm going to just quickly... Oh, I missed his levels there.
It's 50, 51, 49, 50, 51.
Oh, yeah? Then, yeah, I would say that's 51.
Yeah, 52 for Paladin Cecil.
But he is going to go into the sealed cave and be rewarded with more games. So,
yep.
As we see Sid again continuing to nap as this egg surprises the party. Kane can jump if he is fast enough. Unfortunately, Mike does not have Kane in his party, so that is much sadness. And we see Natara here. Gonna have a nice nap. After I'm fighting bosses, I always like to have a nice nap. Now there is a slightly faster way. On the other side of the dwarf cave, there's that little magic pot there, which will restore your HP and MP for free. Some people may not know it's there.
Casual adamant armor for Supremacy.
Yeah, just easy game. Easy game. Adamant's for everyone. You get an adamant, and you get an adamant. Still just one completed runner. So still anybody's shot for second here, and I feel like we're coming up pretty close. I'm thinking maybe Bilbotics has the answer here.
It's feeling that way, isn't it?
But Octoman, interesting.
Now, normally in this spot, you have the 3 Dark Imps who don't have a whole lot of hit points. So whatever you see here, you're going to run like a hot knife through butter.
Yeah. 8 tentacle kill, that's the dream.
It's the dream, Needs Guy.
It is. Scala Almagus won with a time of 1:12.50. He obviously crushed it. No, he's a good runner. Any game he seems to play just seems to be good. So Supremacy, I think, went through the cave, picked up the adamant, and has decided to see who's there, and it's our friend D Lunar. So very exciting.
Just wrecked with the crystal sword.
Pretty much casual 9999. No big deal. Yeah. Magoose is done. Alexa is very neat. Absolutely. Yep. Instead of noping out, Supremacy has decided he wants that adamant. He wants that Excalibur.
All right. He might just want the adamant armor that he picked up too.
Yeah, that's also an important point.
So
now,
what
if
do
he
we
wanted
get
to,
what do we get at
use,
the end of Bill Boddix's drop here?
Oh, could it be Crystal here? It
It's
is
the
Twin
Twin Harp.
More game. Bill is so close. So basically, it looks at this point, Twin Harp is going to give you Crystal at this point. That's.
Oh, is that where we're at now?
I think that's all that's left. Like,
we got adamant and
because I know Sand Ruby's somewhere else.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So it's got to be. So, if Supremacy, I don't know if he has a black mage that knows warp. It is much faster.
Oh yeah.
To use warp, he does have Rydia, but I don't know if she has warp at this point.
I'm pretty sure she does. He just grinded up to level 50 with everybody.
Yeah. So, definitely just a tip for anyone playing. You can use warp. You can't use exit, so save yourself some time. But he is out.
Also, so if you find yourself in the Giant of Babel, the same rules apply too.
Yes, absolutely. So we do see Natara is going through the Fabul Gauntlet, and she is going to be rewarded with more game. So we do see...
she's going to be rewarded with Fusoya as well. I'm curious to know who she's going to take. If she's going to stay with Palom or if she's going to go with Fu.
I think she's happy with her magic.
Well, we'll find out.
Palom's black magic, Rosa white magic. Supremacy going to the moon, I believe, to get some elixirs, or maybe not. He doesn't have the crystal. It is Fu. Let's see what
is he?
Oh, Palom. Bye, Palom. We hardly missed
you. She takes Fu over Palom.
Yeah. And we do have a second place finisher, Kobahi, just finishing in a time of 1:22.27. So
congratulations, Kobahi. I'm curious to know what Bill Boddix is hearing from music coming up here. Just like a lot of the treasures that you see and the bosses, the music that Edward plays at this point is also randomized. Let's see what he ends up playing. We're going to hear the fade out. What sound is that?
I'm really bad with music. Like, really bad.
So there's Natara getting rewarded with some more game.
Sorry, my stream just crashed for a second there, so I'm just...
Oh, my apologies.
That's okay.
So Bill Boddix is fighting Bagan right now in the Dark Elf spot. And he's killing off Sid to make sure that Sid doesn't gain any more experience. He likes Sid right where he's at. And then he's opening up a can of Bursk on Edge and letting him do his work.
Absolutely.
And if you leave those arms around for too long, they'll end up exploding for an amount of damage equivalent to their hit points. But 7,700 point nuke is really going to take care of the business. And we get to see the reward right here, guys. Let's confirm. Faked us out.
And it is
there. It is. Bada bing, bada boom. We have go mode, ladies and gentlemen. Bill Boddix is in there.
And we do have some other finishers. I'll just point out. Invenerable finishing in third with a time of 1:23.57. Rivers McCallum finishing fourth with a time of 1:24.11. And Niram actually finishing close behind in fifth with a time of 1:24.58.
Congratulations to all those guys.
Absolutely, especially on a 17 seed to finish, hour 25. That's pretty impressive.
So here we go. Bill Boddix is actually going right to Zeromus right here. He's around level 46 or so with everybody, so he feels like he's ready. So we get our first peek at the final fight right here. Uses the pass in Toria. There's his one-way ticket.
Yep. Once you go forward, you can't go back. If you don't have the crystal at this point, you have to reset. There's no going back to Kansas.
Are we able to switch the sound to Bill Boddix at all?
I don't know if our restreamer can do that for us really quickly.
Yeah.
Dear restreamer, please. Oh, yeah. Ask and we shall receive.
Here we go. Ask and you shall receive. There it is. So he's got a final party of Edge, Rosa, Sid, Fusoya, and Kane. Round party level 45.
He should be okay. His Kane and his Edge and Rosa, especially with her decked out gear, should be able to survive any Big Bang. Box is a pretty good runner. He'll know how to nerf Zeromus's Big Bang, so...
Nerfing Big Bang.
Yes. So what am I talking about when I'm talking about nerfing Big Bang? So Zeromus's scripts are written as such that just before he shakes, if you cast any sort of item on him, like a slow, a heal, or a nuke, or whatever, it's Tyrannomus there. That was very interesting. He will counter with nuke, and that really lowers his magic power. So when he does Big Bang, it's usually much, much less. So that your characters can survive. Fusoya doing 8,400 there. So he does have it timed properly, and everything looks good.
Now the first Big Bang is really easy to nerf. All you have to do is register a nuke counter at any point in the beginning of the fight, and that reduces the magic power that he uses to cast Big Bang the first time. After that, the timing gets just a little dicier.
It does, and if you happen to just line it up, then that's good luck. But I find it very difficult to line up future nerfs. But usually, if you're doing enough damage, you can push him into the next phases, so it's not that bad.
So there's your nuke counter right there. Chooses the target of Kane to the tune of 1,700 something. It's actually not too bad.
No. And Edge is doing about 3,500, so,
It's getting some good damage output from his heavy hitters in the top and the bottom. Rosa with that Cure 4 and the Silence Staff. And here's the Big Bang. So normally you see Big Bang do anywhere between 1,200 to 2,000, and here you're looking at about 700 to 1,000, so somewhere in the vein of a half.
Yeah, even our boy Sid survived, so it's good. I don't anticipate any challenges at this point, but you never know. Sometimes, just for the record, this is still the same Zeromus script. It is only the sprite that has changed. All of the actions are still as if it was Zeromus himself just hanging out with.
And here we see Bilbotics just hanging out, waiting with Fusoya and letting Kane and Edge go to town with their respective weapons. What he's waiting for is that shake, that telltale shake that Zeromus uses when he's telegraphing that he's about to use Big Bang.
So in the meantime, if we can do some casual damage, again, no big deal. And this is why it was
turns.
Yeah, but this is also why Sid being 14 is the dream, because basically the way the agility calculator works, Zeromus's relative speed is 1, whereas I'm sure if we were to look at the other characters' agility, that's where your speed is generated from. They're they're much further ahead, so that's why they're getting so many turns, whereas Zeromus is not getting so many turns.
I think Bill might have been a little early on that nerf.
We will see,
Yeah.
but that's okay.
He may have another turn to actually get it done. Oh, and there it goes. So I have a feeling that this one's going to be full powered.
Yeah. If Sid dies, he dies.
Yeah, there's full power. Everybody survives the damage rolls. The damage rolls are kind.
But Fusoya is in some danger here as the ticks continue.
And he had a virus queued up, so that's going to draw a nuke counter.
You are absolutely right. And on Sid, which, again, Billbox is probably not too sad.
Shrug emoji.
Yeah. Because now these Cure 4s will actually cure 4 of the party members, doing more curing damage. But blast into a meteor, this could be a problem.
Yeah.
Oh,
the damage roll.
RNG being very generous.
Oh, and it gets the Cure 4 off. So we're almost on time for Bill right here.
Almost.
There it is. He's done.
So while that was happening, just to bring people up to speed, Hippos finished in 6th with a time of 1:27.39. Night Dew finished in 7th with a time of 1:28.08. Mortal Mago finished with a time of 1:29.01. And in 9th, Billbotics with 1:31.15 SRL time.
Hey, Nitska, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Do you like omelets?
I do not mind omelets. Because
Natara's got some omelets that she's cooking up right over there.
I see. That's very exciting.
Congratulations to all of the finishers. Natara's doing her grind right now. She's committed to Sid, Fusoya, Cecil, Rosa, and Kane. And it looks like Supremacy's in the Tower of Battle right now.
Yeah, so unfortunately he has made the wrong move.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, what can you do?
Yeah, right.
Really.
Right. You're flipping a coin, and if it comes up tails, well,
yeah. So
that's tough.
Yeah. So it wasn't a true 17 of 17, but 15 of 17 is still pretty up there.
We got Mayo Mike down there exploring the Watery Pass. Fun fact, you can actually find some pretty decent stuff down in the Watery Pass. It takes an awful lot of time. But you can find some interesting things. Bandana gets a bandana out of it.
Do we want to bring, or can we bring in Billbotics just to chat about the seed?
Oh, yeah, please.
Let me just ask here.
Yeah. In the meantime, we look at Supremacy over there, facing down Dark Knight Cecil. It's not going to be too bad. He revives Rosa, so that Rosa can get some experience from that when Dark Knight goes down.
And we do have another finisher. I might be butchering this name, so I apologize. Kasa finished in 10th place with a time of 1:32.23.
Congratulations, Casa. So Supremacy was thinking about laying down a little safety save, but he's going to opt for just running down the tower. He's taking his little trip down the tower, and it looks like he's probably going to head on over to do Earth Crystal. Natara's still grinding out some eggs for her omelets. She's looking pretty good on levels at this juncture. I think she's power leveling this one. Not really caring so much about relative agility as much. Just really wants that raw hit points. Cecil doing about 4K with that crystal sword.
Well, because at this point, Cecil's agility is high, if we were to actually look at it. So she's probably just wanting to make sure that it's a one and done. Although she might be setting up to be ready to keep going.
I think she moved white up in her menu. I think she's probably going to try some reflect strats here.
Perfect. Billbotics is just coming in momentarily.
Yeah, it looks like Billbotics is in the bullpen.
Perfect. Just quickly going to go over Scratch Dragon finishing 11th, time of 1:35.35, and Big Dunka finishing in 12th with the time of 1:36.05. So GG to them. Billbotics, are you there?
I think he's still in the setup right now.
This is what I need to do. There we go. Hey, Billbotics.
There he is.
Oh, hello there.
Hello. Sorry, I'm new to Discord.
Welcome to Discord.
Billbotics, congratulations on your finish. 131. That was no joke with what you had to deal with. Tell me a little bit about what you were thinking right around the halfway point.
Oh boy, yeah, that was a seed. I'm kind of sad that you guys are. But was I first on a restream to a finish?
Yeah, that's correct.
Oh, I'm sorry. 9th place for the first interview. Yeah, that was the seed. I have a feeling that everyone did a 17 of 17 seed, and it kind of came down to execution at that point, except for that Magus. He probably just berserked his way through it. But that was, yeah, as soon as Tower was my last place to check, I knew it was 17 of 17. I was like, well, yeah, that was fun.
We were getting that impression as the game went along, and you were getting more keys and less key items.
It definitely smacked of 17 of 17, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as I went to Luca and saw Adamant, I got a real sinking feeling in my stomach. But then I remembered it's all for fun.
No, for sure. And 9th A is in this group of racers is definitely nothing to slouch at. There are some really good runners. So.
Oh, absolutely. That was my goal, was top 10 with this field, because I think this is the biggest race we've had yet. It's absolutely awesome to see all of these runners in here and doing so well.
No, exactly. Let me just check something really quick.
So you ended up taking Fusoya over Rydia, if I recall correctly. Tell me a little bit why you did that so late in the run.
Well, I knew I had killed enough bosses where Fusoya was pretty near full power. I knew Rydia would take longer to learn Nuke, and I really just wanted that slot to have Nuke, because I had my other 4, and I could just do it with those 4, but if I had Nuke, that would help. So that it was like Fusoya, he's gonna take less hand holding, and Rydia's HP is so low. I wouldn't have been able to count on her, or I would have had to grind it a little longer to feel comfortable. So Fusoya was kind of a no-brainer for me at that point.
Go ahead.
When you got the darkness crystal early, and then you ended up choosing Fusoya later, was there any inkling that maybe you were going to do your grind in a different place?
Well, sirens were in the last shop I checked, so yes. I was thinking I was probably going to need to do the D Machine grind, but I kind of felt bad ditching Tella so early because of that. But I knew I knew Rydia learned it a little earlier than Palom. That was kind of the choice there when I ditched Palom and kept Rydia. I believe she learns weak quicker. But I was kind of just banking on Fusoya, finding Fusoya at that point because it was a hook seed.
So it's interesting, Billbotics. There were at one point, one of the runners picked up 3 crystal swords, yet you did not bring Cecil. You're the only featured streamer to not bring Cecil to the final party. Your thoughts on that?
Down with Cecil.
Gotcha. Fair enough. It just, because we saw them, I know sometimes the seeds kind of direct you that way and they go, well, I better go get Cecil because he's going to be useful. So
honestly, he was the package character. I had Crystal Sword, and right at that split decision, I was like, well, I haven't even done ordeals yet. I might not even do ordeals. I'm gonna kind of YOLO and leave him there. I can always come back if I need him. And I had Sid as a good anchor, so I just kind of I didn't really want to wait through and do all that Kaipo business.
Fair enough. We did see you were trying really hard to keep Sid's agility at 14, so I applaud you for that.
Yeah, I got a little nervous there when he didn't hit 14 after 3 level ups. I was like, I'm going to overshoot this, and it's going to be real embarrassing.
No, it definitely wasn't. It was good to see, and it was awesome for us to kind of explain how Zeromus's agility works relative to that character. And because you were the only one who didn't take Cecil, it was just you pretty much just face rolled the whole fight there, except for right near the end there. What do you think happened there?
Yeah, that kind of happens sometimes when I use a 14 agility anchor. I get real close to the Meteo phase on the last Big Bang, and I knew it was coming, and I still cast Virus anyway, just because I thought maybe I can push him into Meteo with this Virus. And it didn't work so well. But I got lucky and Ed survived. So at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
That's very true. I've seen some fights where you push him into Meteo and that ends up being no bueno, but you got away with it, so that's definitely awesome.
Got the damage rolls for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And that has burned me before. I've been killed by Meteo phase because of a Big Bang right before. And you think I'd learn, but I just don't.
Do we ever
live on the edge?
No, for sure.
Gotta go fast, man. Gotta go fast.
That's right.
Absolutely. So thank you again for racing and being featured.
Anything else you want to say other than down with Cecil?
Yeah.
17 of 17 for life. And thanks for having me, and thanks for doing commentary. I can't wait to watch the VOD and see how awesome this is.
Thank you very much, Billbotics.
Yep. Take care, guys.
No problem. So down with Cecil. So
down with Cecil is what he has to say about it.
Noted for future reference.
Yeah. Well, the other 3 here don't share that sentiment. We've got Supremacy getting his black chocobo so that he can head on over to what we now know to be the location of the crystal.
Alexei, you take that back. You take that back right now. I do see. I am happy that Mike has finally picked up Cecil. So
outstanding.
He's got someone who can do some serious damage now, as he travels through Zot to be rewarded with playing the game some more.
Well, he just wants more game, and don't we all? Don't we all?
Absolutely. I want every seed to be 17 and 17. While that was happening, Rollin finished in 13th with a time of 1:39.23. So we have almost half the field through, which definitely is good. Like there's a wide variety, and it's a really fun race. So for those of you in chat who might be here for the first time, definitely check it out. It's a super fun game, super easy to learn, super difficult to master. Would be what I would say.
Do we ever master?
And with the flags that they have, you can start off really easy. Or if you want to go to what we affectionately call a Cataseed.
Cataseed.
You're definitely free to play the game however you like, and that's why I think it's been such a smash hit. And it's definitely something that I think everybody should check out at least once.
It is one of the most customizable randomizers I have ever seen, and in that alone, I think it sort of earns its place apart from the rest of the pack.
Absolutely. All the randomizers that are out there for FF4 have their charm, but this one just it incorporates, in my opinion, the best of everything. So what's a Cataseed? So Steel G, the flags can get actually much more worse.
I'm gonna paste something in chat for you right there, because I actually have this flag string saved on my computer, because I run these quite often, and there it is.
Oh,
right
I know
there.
this theme now. It's oh my goodness, it's from Final Fantasy. Oh no, oh my god, it's the opera theme from FF6. You should have known that, Muppets.
Oh my goodness, I should have known that.
That's all good.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
That's all good. It's tough when it's in a MIDI format. It's kind of tough.
Yeah.
You don't get everything. But at first, I was going to say it was Aerith's theme from FF7, but
Funny enough, those do sound fairly similar.
they do. So I knew Scala knew. So I'm happy with this theme. There is within the Discord, if you want to add a suggestion to Boardface's What Does Edward Play? He takes all the suggestions. How many are in there? I have no idea. How many can be in there? Also no idea. It's part of the charm of this random.
They encourage you to limit their suggestions to
RPGs, I believe.
Yeah, right. That's it. And there's supremacy. He's granted with the crystal, and now it's go time.
Absolutely. There appears to be some shade in the chat, Muppet. Apparently you don't make it to the opera. Apparently.
Oh, I'm used to it, Neats Guy. I'm used to it.
Yes. So just to quickly get back, in a Cataseed, basically it's it's something. So if you look up one of the original FF4 OG players, Catastrophic 4, he decided to take all the worst flags that you can possibly play and just throw them all together and see what happened. And hilarity ensues. That's all.
I've been asked by Alexa to do an impression of Alexa doing an impression of me. And I'm going to attempt that right now.
Oh my God.
Supremacy is about to fight Zeromus right now. He's flying to the moon, and it looks like he is ready to do this.
Oh.
What's his final party look like? We know it's led by Cecil. All right, I'm done.
God. Oh my God. That was pretty good.
Rosa, Cecil, Rydia, and Kane. It's the Fab Five.
Look for a fast fight, boys and girls. You're going to see Zeromus shaking a lot. Hopefully, Cecil can just out DPS them all. Because there's one shake, and they haven't even got the... Okay, so one shake in their turn. Not the end of the world, but...
I'm sure he's shaking right now.
I'm sure he is. Oh, two shakes. Oh, he's definitely... So you're going to see this fight with Supremacy run just a little bit differently than you did with Bilbotics. And you'll
Still
see.
using Bacchus wines.
But you're going to see Zeromus shaking just a little more often. Or I should say Tyrannomus shouts out to apparently Chrono Trigger, a game I've never actually played.
You've never played Chrono Trigger? Oh, we need to talk.
I know. Everybody tells me this. It's just one day.
One day.
Listen, I played Final Fantasy V once for about a half an hour, and that was it for that. So.
FF5's no joke, man.
It is.
So we've got our shake. It's laid down 3 Bacchus wines, and so that berserks Kane, Cecil, and Edge right there, and he's gonna yummy down on a full-powered Big Bang at this point.
There was no nerf. Rydia might be in the drink.
And Rydia is indeed down for the aforementioned count. I don't think Supremacy really cares about that. He's going straight fighter, Cure 4, power strats right now.
Well,
he's got the high HP characters with Cecil and Kane. He's pumping it out.
If my Cecil was doing 6k damage, I wouldn't be so worried either.
Well, and that's the beauty of having the Crystal Sword as well, as the Crystal Sword is actually something that Zeromus is weak to. In vanilla, before you even pick it up, it actually says it is the power of the sword that Zeromus detests, and this is why.
Fun facts, I did not know that.
Mm-hmm. We've got Rosa leading Rosa to Edward up in Natara's stream.
Oh boy, that's definitely a no-brainer there. Edward, sorry, we love you.
Oh, I'm a little sad.
You don't even get your equipment.
I'm a little sad.
I know. But again, as you said there, we're not worried about Rydia. He's not even worried about, full-powered Big Bangs, which I've seen do upwards sometimes of 2,600. So it's...
So there's another full-powered Big Bang. You saw Bill Botics down. He was working on nerfing the power of Big Bang. Supremacy is just going straight power to 9,300 with that crit on that Crystal Sword. Big damage. It's not going to be long before we get GGs on his stream.
Yeah, because Zeromus has 110k HP, I believe.
Yeah, we're in Meteo phase.
Yeah.
It hits Edge and Edge only, and this ought to do it right. There it is.
There it is. And GG to Supremacy.
GG's to Supremacy with a time of 1:51:30.
And just to bring us up to speed here, we have had some finishers while we've been having some fun here. Ovok Jam finishing 14th with a time of 1:46:28. We have Chrism Phoenix in 15th with a time of 1:47:08, so close there. Blackfire 67 in 16th with 1:47:18. JC 87 17th, the time of 1:50:54, and Supremacy in 18th place with a 1:51:35. Again, definitely.
This is a marathon seed, so if you finished it, congratulations.
No, exactly. So I'm just gonna see here.
So there's Natara. She's going back into the Tower of Babel. She has the tower key, and I think we all know where this leads at this point. She's on her way to a true 17 of 17 right here. As you can see on her tracker, she's missing 2 items, and we know that the crystal ain't here.
Much sadness.
Yeah.
We can do. Dipwood finishing in 19th with a time of 1:53:21. And we're going to bring Supremacy into the chat, or into the stream, I should say, for a quick interview.
So while we're waiting for him to get put up in the bullpen, just gonna see what's going on here with Natara. Running out of the tower, just trying to find her legs to get to that last key item. I think somewhere in her runner brain she knows that The crystal is going to be the last thing that she sees. Oh.
Sorry, I pulled it back out. Supremacy, if you could just mute your sound there for a second.
That was the most epic entrance music I've ever heard. It's almost like that was in MIDI.
Almost. It's going to be just 1 minute there.
And there's the twin harp and the realization. There was not even a hesitation. I think she knew.
Supremacy's just having some mic issues. He'll be just a minute there.
Totally good. Ooh, now that's a fun issue that Natara's dealing with right there. She dropped the Falcon down outside of Toria, and when you get caught at the bottom of the Tower of Babel when you fall, you get caught by the Enterprise. So how do you take care of that? Well, you can take a chocobo ride up to where you want to go. That's one way of doing it.
And fun fact for those playing the game, it looks as though the chocobo goes slow, but if you actually hold down Y, chocobo goes even faster. So
I always forget that.
I always forget it too, but I just saw her do it there and that just reminded me.
So here she is in her final side dungeon before she ends up fighting Zeromus. Oh, is Supremacy ready?
He just needs 1 more minute. He's having some mic challenges.
Copy that.
While we do that, 20th place to Shad the Shade in 156.29.
And there we are. Hello, sir.
I see him there.
I see you, Supremacy. Oh, mic issues. Aw.
Well, while we wait for him to might not be able to have an interview. That's unfortunate. We'll give him a minute to try that. In the interim, we'll hear some more of the opera.
Ah, yes, the opera.
And we
so
have.
I can wallow deeper in my shame.
That's okay. Your secret's safe with me, Batman.
It's not. Everyone's here.
It's only what thousands of people? I can.
Oh my
I can
goodness.
See, I can see what I can do.
Yeah.
It's no problem. It's no problem. So,
it's a good song, though.
It is a good song. Yeah. Elmagus did finish first, Skyward. Also, Dave UTC in 21st with 156.51, and Neon Gray in 22nd with 157.21.
Okay, how about now?
Hey, I hear ya.
There we go. Okay.
So GG, welcome. Glad things got solved there.
Yeah, that was annoying when I realized. Oh yeah, this is a K1 seed. Why am I clearing optional bosses?
Well, I was a little confused why you went to Bahamut, but sometimes I try not to question Renner logic.
Yeah, no, it was more just like, oh yeah, I've been playing nothing but K2 seeds for the past 4 seeds that I've played. So, oh yeah, there's totally an item here. And then I was like, no, that's not an item. And then Wyvern wasn't an item. And I was like, okay, yeah. I went and I looked and I was like, this is a K1 seed. I need to go to Babel.
I want to fast forward to the point where you were in the Dwarven Castle and you were presented with the option of getting Fusoya, and you turned him down. Can you talk a little bit about why you did that?
Well, part of it was just because the thought of a vanilla party was fun. And also just, I don't know, I had Bahamut and was like, yeah, this will do all right. Not even really thinking about it. I thought I might have to grind some more, but then I went and looked at the end and was like, yeah, I definitely don't need to grind anymore.
Yeah, you were around party level 60, something like that. Around there. What was your mindset going into the Zeromus fight?
Oh, that was pretty easy. It was just like, okay, Rudia's probably gonna die. And then I had enough Bacchus wands to just be like, okay, Cecil, go. You've got Crystal Sword. You're just gonna hit like a truck. I've got 3 adamant armors, so although Zeromus doesn't matter, but
No, yeah, I saw that. Cecil doing 6-7K. I had said to Muppets, I said I wouldn't be worried if that was me either. So as I said, Rydia went into the drain.
yeah, pretty much.
You didn't worry about nerfing Big Bang at all in that. You were just going power on power there.
I mean, I should have, but I said instead of the first, I think, parry I did with Rydia, I should have just waited to cast Virus, but I was just like, let me just get Bacchus wands on everyone, and yeah, I can survive the unnerfed ones and just Tier 4 through it, so.
Yeah, about what point in your run did you realize that you were on a 17 out of 17er?
I think as soon as I got the Earth Crystal, I was like, okay, this Earth Crystal is going to lead me to... It's got to be the Twin Harp, because it's not going to lead me straight to the Crystal. And I was like, okay, so I guess I'm going to have to do all this then.
Yeah, we were looking at it as it went along, and we were like, it's looking like a full clear, and it did not disappoint.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Any last thoughts about the run? Anything that kind of caught your eye and went, huh, that's weird?
I mean, there was like a whole lot of crystal swords and crystal armor.
Yes, there were.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was more adamant in the chests that I didn't look at, but it's like, okay, well, everyone's going to be equipped to the teeth.
I think there were 3 adamant armors you could get in total, at least from what we...
Yeah, from what we saw.
Well, yeah, in that case, I got all 3. I got one in... I forget where the first one was, and then I got the pink tail one, and the one random chest I checked in Sealed Cave was adamant armor.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Well, yeah, GG's, man.
GG.
Just finishing this marathon of a seed is reward enough, and sub 2 is pretty good for 17 out of 17.
Yeah, as soon as I saw Magus got done at like 112, I was like, I had to have missed something huge here. And that's kind of what put me to the moon, and I was like, and then that's where I started realizing, wait, why am I on the moon? Moon is not.
Yeah.
Yeah, the moon's only good for about 2 things in a K1.
Yeah.
Check the shop, and who do you get?
Yep.
And it was Ed. So, it's good
That's
time.
true. Edge was a pretty good fun on the moon, so.
Yeah.
Well, Natara's about to go into her final fight, so we might want to tune back in on that.
All right. Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you very much, Supremacy.
Yep. Have a good one.
You too. So we see, I was just noting while you were speaking with Supremacy that I'm not sure if she went and put the dwarf axe on. She seemed really concerned with... Okay, so she did do that. She was really concerned about the agility, but based on his level and based on how much damage that he's going to do with Crystal Sword, I wouldn't be so worried at this point. Like, she's over leveled. This should be a one-shot.
Yeah, there's much like the final fight that we saw with Supremacy, Natara's pretty much just going to saw right through Zeromus. Like a steel wire and plastic, I guess. I'm looking for a different analogy. I didn't find it.
That's That's okay. Again, nobody's listening. Nobody's watching. It's always good to try new material on the road.
Right.
For sure. So I'm curious to see. She is
I
going to
like
go with the wall strats.
I like
Little
that
bit of
she's
swag.
doing this.
A little bit of swag with the white. So for people who don't know, if you were to cast white directly onto Zeromus, he will counter with weak. And if you're already in a big bang, usually you get everybody's favorite text box HP ran out. So this will definitely be fun. She's doing this for all the swag. So I'm pretty sure she realizes she's in the driver's seat.
Now the
Casual.
fun part about bounce strats like that is that you don't get a counter from anything that's reflected. So her casting white is not going to elicit the weak counter. And if Fusoya was to have bounced the nuke spell off of Sid's while there, he would not have gotten the nuke counter there either.
But I think she did that just to ensure that this Big Bang is nerfed. Again,
That's right.
With the adamant armor she has on, you're going to see 209 for Rosa. Like, basically, she got a scratch. She got scratched. Like, oh, sorry, Big Bang. You scratched my arm. The lowest I think I've ever seen was 179, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I've seen about 150 or something. Basically, Zeromus farts on you, and that's about all it is.
Yeah. So look for this battle to end quite quickly. I would assume within the next maybe 2 or 3 minutes. Because
Crystal Sword and bouncing white is really going to get it done.
Absolutely. And Fusoya with the cures, gonna cure for 820. Not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. 2200 from your boy Kane. I haven't seen what Cecil's doing. Casual 5k. Definitely not a problem there.
Now, one thing to note, any runners who want to do these sort of bounce strats like that, Black Hole is the ability that nullifies magics. That includes wall. So if you have something queued up on somebody that has a wall and he uses Black Hole, that reflect status is going to go bye-bye.
Also, at near random points, the wall will just fade off. As we see right then.
Just like that.
And Sid takes a nap.
Mm-hmm.
As you saw there, Rosa took that nuke pretty well. 400 damage. So she got 2 scratches that time. But we'll see. We'll see how things go. We'll see how she recovers from this. If she's just going to just let them do their thing.
Ooh.
Oh, Fusoya down. I did not expect that.
Yeah, bad damage roll on Fu there. Upper echelon of Big Bang is usually about 2,400, so that's a pretty tough roll.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate. So we do see Black Hole here, so that is going to stop the Berserk status, although they may hit one more time, but for less damage, for whatever reason.
Now, one of the things that Black Hole also does is it removes Berserk status.
Yes.
So now we're going to see... Oh, we're in Meteo phase already.
So she's not too worried. At this point, just queue up fight. I mean, she might do it for the swag.
Oh, you got to do it for the swag. Here comes swag.
Another Meteo. Again, Meteo usually hurts a lot, but with Zeromus, not at all.
And there it is.
So Natar finishing with an SRL time of 2:08:03 in 24th. One other person finished. Elizan Teyama in 23rd with a time of 2:02:53. So GG to them as well. I will just... Yes.
All right, and down here, our final guy we got running here, Mike. He's got He's got a few things going on there. Darkness Crystal. He just got Edge. I think he's starting to get the speed of what's going on in this seed.
He's confused who to bring in. Hey, Natar.
Oh, hello.
GG to you.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you. One of these days I won't route 17 of 17, but today was not that day.
Well, you are
Um,
not the only person who has done that, Natara.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me, honestly. That was the fact that it was a forced double dip into Tower of Babel was nonsense, to put it kindly. People
Yeah,
who were
what-
watching my stream directly were seeing all sorts of very mean faces.
Yeah.
Nice.
At what point in the run did you think to yourself, "Oh, it's definitely a 17 of 17"?
As soon as it had the double dip into Tower of Babel. Because usually I avoid the sealed cave, so I was like, well, since I have everything for my grind, let's get that out of the way and let's go to sealed cave because it's usually something there. And I would have just exited out, just reset, but there was my third adamant armor was in there, so I was like, I don't want to leave that behind. That's shiny. So yeah, I took it with me.
Yeah, so
For
you
sure.
ended up choosing a party of Kane, Cecil, Sid, Rosa, Fu.
Yes.
Yeah, can you tell me a little bit about why you ended up keeping the characters that you did in those places?
The reason I went for the particular party I went for, as much as I really like Palom, I always like the bonus of having 2 white mages, plus Fu can do all of the things that Palom can do. Sid, I find Sid and Yang to be pretty interchangeable. They both do good damage and can... Sid at least can have the equipment, so I like to keep him. Cecil is always my kind of person because where he's the agility anchor the way he is. But I just picked up so much of his good gear, and I was like, I can remove the crystal armor before the fight, before Zeromus, and then I can use Bacchus on him. So that'll be fine, and I ended up finding both the dwarf axe and the cursed ring, so I was like, perfect, those are exactly what you want to find if you're going to keep Cecil. And Kane I find is just a gimme. I love Kane. He's just a solid all-round character, lots of HP, damage, equipped so much. So I like to have Kane in my party a lot. And Rosa's just, the best healer. I found it funny that I got the folks I did after getting, I had Rydia and then got Bahamut, just in time for me to dismiss her, and I almost didn't, but I was like, when it comes down to it, Bahamut is no good against Zeromus, so, but Nuke, which Palom gets earlier than Rydia with more HP, is better, so let me go for those.
Now, you did get an early Darkness Crystal in there.
Yes, I did.
And with the party setup that you had a few grinding options to go with.
I absolutely did, yep.
Yeah, why did you select to go with Omelet Grind?
I like the underground grind with the sirens because those are just what I had picked up. Generally speaking, I don't worry about my grind until I've gotten the applicable key items. The only, for me, I did my grind early because I unless I'm really struggling with things, which other than Baron Castle, I wasn't. So but since I was going to have to do a grind anyways, and I had the sirens and a really good party for killing those eggs, and I had the over 10 items, it was the easy way to do it. I didn't have the crystals, so I didn't want to waste my time going to the moon, and I had a good party, so I really had no reason to go to the moon. I was only going to end up going to the moon if I found the crystal before I found the pass, then I was absolutely going to run through the moon. And I use the sealed cave sometimes for grinding, but I just find the egg grind to be fastest when I can manage it.
Yeah. Turning point for me was when you dismissed Palom. I thought for sure you were going to keep him, and I said to Muppets she likes Palom, but you proved me wrong.
Yeah, I usually, I really do like Palom, and if I have a choice between Palom and Rydia, as much as Rydia is my favorite character, I'll take Palom every time because he's better with the overall gameplay. But I've been really coming around to having Fu in the party lately, and every time I do bring him, I find I really am succeeding much more, especially for those extra cures. He can just do some early helping and healing stuff, so that's always kind of a good thing to have. So
Yeah, the versatility card.
What was that?
the versatility card.
Yeah, exactly. He just has so much versatility. His HP is awful, but he also comes with good gear when he first shows up. So that can help if you're hurting for gear. But yeah, I find unless I've already done my grind when I find Fu, I usually do take Fu in my party these days.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
we're looking at Mayo Mike here, dealing with some inventory stuff. Can you talk to me a little bit about inventory management and how you tend to approach that?
I find especially for the first half, for sure, you want to hold on to as much. I want to hold on to as much as possible because what if I get this character? But I find as soon as I've done my grind, I'm much more likely to sell things in order to get the money I need to get the better equipment. So I stop hanging on to things so much, except for the things I might need for the Zeromus fight, like the cursed ring, dwarf axe, alternate armor for Cecil, that sort of thing. But otherwise, I just kind of hold on to as much stuff as I can. And when it gets to the point that my inventory is full, especially when opening a chest, I just kind of dump whatever garbage items or not as good as what I have equipped items, because I would rather sell than dump. Because again, in this sort of flags, where there's no glitches, you need to get your money where you can, especially because elixirs are very expensive.
Yeah, they're about 100K a pop.
Yeah, easily. Yeah. So I didn't even find them this time. I could have opened up the shop at the Smithies, but I was like, no, that's just wasting time. I don't need it. I have more than enough of everything I need. I'm already 17 for 17, which by the looks of one of the trackers I see, that was common. I wasn't the only one. So, and honestly, for my skill level, to get just over 2 hours for 17 out of 17, I'm super happy. And finding the pass as well. I'm very happy with my time.
Just to let you know, Natar, the elixirs were in the Hummingway cave.
Oh, the Hummingway. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I had enough. Yeah.
Yeah. You were good to go. I would agree. Unfortunately, I'm not sure. Elmagus ended up finishing first. I don't know if he went 17 to 17, but he must have been pretty close just based on what we were seeing and how the progression.
Honestly, there was early underground access with the hook, and I'm starting to learn, like, that's why I did clear out a bit more of the overworld, but I was like, as soon as I really could, I dumped into the underworld, and I fall into the trap of trying to get the easiest items, so getting the Feymarch chest, and then since I had the pan, diving into Sylph Cave to get the 2 there, because that's 3 very quick key items. But unfortunately, you never want that double dip into Babel, and it was mandatory. It was a non-optional double dip. So it was sadness and tears, but it could have been a lot worse. There was a 4th adamant?
Yeah, on my own Mike stream, he just fought last time and got another adamant.
That is amazing. Adamant armors are just so good.
They definitely are. I noticed you chose Rosa. That was just for obvious reasons.
I almost always take Rosa, honestly, because I want 2 white mages, and unless I don't find Rosa and I just find, say, Porum and Fu, I usually take them. I basically always get rid of Tella, and I almost always get rid of Porum. Same with Rydia. As much as I like them, they're just not very good. And I usually get rid of Cecil, but again, it depends on the party makeup, and that just worked the way my party worked out. It was pretty great.
It's perfect. Anything else that you wanted to add about the seed? We've heard some Cecil must die. Bill Boddix, who
I think
finished
down
first,
with Cecil was what he
or
said.
down with Cecil. Yes, sorry.
Yeah, no, actually, this is one of the very few seeds where Cecil really was quite kind to me. So I have no complaints about that. For once, I'm very happy with Cecil. Oh, who was I swearing on? There was more than one person. I think it was a boss that showed up, which I did swear on quite loudly. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The fact I was able to. I didn't know you could kill Mom Bomb in the first form like that. I was like, cool. And 8 tentacle Octomam kill. Yas.
Yeah. When Mom Bomb changes, I believe they get 10,000 extra HP. So normally, obviously, in vanilla, we can't do that.
For sure. I just didn't know, again, you could kill her like that, but it was cool to know. I was like, oh, I just killed Mom Bomb in first form. That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, this was pretty much a marathon-style seed. Everyone seemed to have to put their nose to the grindstone and go. Like you said, getting around 2 hours or even sub 2 for some people is pretty darn good for this. So well done for even completing it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was definitely 17 of 17 is not even particularly easy for some of the experienced runners. So especially with that double dip into Babel, like who would think of doing that? So
yeah.
Except for the fact that this game hates us. So you know how it goes.
Yep.
Okay, well, thanks so much. I'm sure you both are doing an amazing job. Keep it up.
Thank you very much,
thank you.
Zutara.
Okay.
Thanks.
Bye.
Have a good night.
Okay,
You
bye.
too.
Miss you.
Bye.
Bye. So it looks as though Myomike has run into Waterhag at the not CPU spot, 4 Fiend spot. Hopefully he realizes it's NFL 1, and if he can just hit Waterhag 3 times.
This spot hits like a truck, though. The
Yeah.
4 Fiend spot, especially the first form, the Mylon Z form, has just a ton of power. And each of those shots is really going to wreck him.
Why do we play this again, Natar? Because we love Final Fantasy and we hate it all at the same time.
Yes.
Oh. Unfortunately, a rip there. It's really tough when you see things like this, and I'm just really hoping that he's able to power through this.
So yeah, this particular boss battle is not required in the current flag setup. There are no key items at the end of this. There is a character that you can get after not this one, the 4 Fiend spot, but the following one, the CPU spot. You can get a character, the one that comes in and saves you, which in vanilla is Kane, coming to show you the way out of the giant. That spot, you get a new character. But you don't get anything else. You don't get any items. You don't get any key items. You don't get anything. Just a boatload of experience. And this is a very, very high-level space to get into an encounter. Fortunately for him, this particular encounter, the Waterhag encounter, is 3 hits and you're done. Just like in vanilla, when you hit him 3 times with Edward... Oh, and it goes down very fast, too. When you hit him 3 times with Edward, he just dies. And with the free lunch being what it is, he can just do that. I think he's trying to find a place to grind right now. Okay, so he just turned on encounters. Something you can do in the menu with the E3 flag. He's looking for monsters that he can fight to gain a little bit of hit points so that he can get through this encounter.
Yeah, unfortunately, his party composition are basically at starting levels, so it's really tough at grinding in the giant, just because you have such low HP. Like the machine there, I think has something like 20,000 hit points or something like that. It's pretty ridiculous.
Oh, the D machine?
No, just the machine itself.
Oh yeah, the blade hands robot.
Yes, from Lost in Space.
Hey, speaking of D machines from Lost in Space, there's a reference.
I just dated myself a little bit.
Oh no, it's great. It was great. D machine. These are the dragons that most of the time speedrunners of No 64 will be very familiar with. There is 2 encounters that you'll actually see these. This is one where you see just a solo D machine. They have a boatload of hit points. They spam cast fire, which is a thing that does fractional damage. And anytime you hit them with anything, be it a spell, be it an attack, or an item, they are going to counter with hitting you with a fight. So they are very, very difficult. As you can see right now, Kane goes down.
I'm hopeful Cecil can just kind of ride this
Oh,
out.
on that fire.
Oh,
So fire is not elemental per se. It is fractional damage. Does 1/10 of your hit points in damage, kind of like Mazer in the CPU battle.
no, exactly. Hopefully he can get...
And
that
he's
is
down.
unfortunate. I was hoping he could get Kane in the air there, avoid that, and pull it off. At this point, I probably backtrack out of the giant, and I probably go somewhere else. I'm not quite sure
Indeed.
where, but it's just because you don't want to hit your head against a wall too much.
Well, and a lot of times in these randos, you can find yourself beating your head against a wall because you don't really know what else you need to do. You get stuck on one task, and if you're just constantly trying to get through that task, trying to figure out different ways of completing one specific encounter, it's really difficult to stop and really calm yourself and think about all of the other options that you have.
No.
This is a very common thing, and one thing that I actually have endured many times myself as a runner of Free Enterprise, and there he gets through it, and he's about to gain just a boatload of experience from this fight.
Yeah, it's unfortunate Kane and Rosa are dead, but Cecil and Edge will gain 102,000 experience, 8 levels for Edge, 10 levels for Cecil. So that will definitely help him out in terms of being able to just survive encounters in general.
I love
I'm
that he's
wondering-
named him Old Man Ramu.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's going to go on to CPU at this point. The prudent thing would be to save at this point, of course.
I'm pretty sure that's what he's doing, although he might be considering his options at this point.
Might
Standing
be.
there at the passage, and there it is.
Yeah.
Gonna lay it down.
No, and hey, nothing wrong with saving. Absolutely not.
As a matter of fact, not only is there nothing wrong with saving is such a huge deal in this rando because you never know what you're going to get whacked down with.
No,
And if
exactly.
you don't save and you get whacked down at some boss battle that you've gotten into like 6 battles after your previous save, you've just lost half an hour, 45 minutes of time, and there's your run.
Yep, I've done that where I haven't saved and 20 minutes in, and I think I got wrecked by Wyvern, and I was right back at the beginning. I was
Yep.
like, oh geez,
Yeah.
because I'm a little sadistic and like to play with the W flag off just for funsies.
Oh, I do too. Well, I run Cata Seeds, so
yeah.
yeah.
So you're just insane.
Cata Seeds are fun,
That's okay.
man.
Unfortunately, you can see in CPU, Antlion is actually, he hits like a truck.
Yeah, he hits hard.
Typically, in his vanilla spot, he will hit you for 1 or 2 damage, even at a really low level. But in this spot, he's got a little more attack power. So, unfortunately, if I'm Mike at this point, I probably backtrack. Cata
looks
seeds
like
are
he's
not
thinking
fun,
about it.
Swimmy. Cata seeds are the opposite of fun. It's like a fun sponge.
I mean, Swimmy, I'm with you. Cata Seeds are great, but you should take what I say with a grain of salt because I run Beyond Chaos permadeath, so, you know.
Yeah, that is the that is the inception of not fun. Hey, maybe one day you'll see the opera again.
Oh. It
Sorry, a
hurts.
little bit of
It
shit.
hurts. Oh, digging hard.
Says the guy who's run one Beyond.
Oh, only one?
Only one, and that's version 62. And
Wow.
I know. The story is too linear. So after playing Free Enterprise so much, I'm not into the linear story anymore.
Yeah, I feel you. Well, I got to tell you, Free Enterprise has absolutely sucked most of my free time right down the drain. This thing is so addictive, and it's because it's so customizable and consumable. You can set up a flag string that you can get done in 45 minutes to an hour and a half, or you can set up a Cata Seed and have something where you have to explore literally every single nook and cranny in order to complete the seed. And
Exactly.
it is just a rockin' good time.
It absolutely is. So Mike has decided smartly, in my opinion, to leave the giant, but now he's trying to figure out where to go, what to do. I feel like, as was indicated by Cassie, he doesn't know about Rydia's mom. I believe he's killed Derek Miss, so he could get the hook, and that might make him feel a little bit better. It's tough at this point.
Well, it's tough at this point when you're not as familiar with the seed string, the flag string that you're working with. It's tough to know where to go next. I think this really started with him trying to glitch out his inventory to gain an infinite money glitch. And not realizing that he's on a glitchless seed.
Yeah, and then just not knowing where, because he's on NFL 1, which isn't the end of the world, but just not knowing where to get those extra characters. Like he was running around with 2 characters for about the first hour, so.
Yeah, Tella and Rydia, no less.
Yeah, not exactly the best superheroes on the planet.
It's not your A squad, no.
No, definitely not. But
Yeah.
I hope he realizes what he should be doing at this point. Which
So he has the darkness crystal, and he's already gotten Edge. He has the package, and I believe he had done the package quest and gotten Cecil. He's got the rat tail and the pink tail and the Luca key and Baron key. Has he completed Baron yet?
I am not 100% sure. If not, that would be my next play.
I would imagine that is the next play. If he has not completed Baron, he probably needs to go and do that.
'Cause I
I'm
think-
wondering if he's a little gun shy on that because the last few times that he's tried to fight at Baron didn't go so well. Because that was the very first thing that he did.
No, exactly. Just to report, Exodus finishing in 25th with the time at 2:31:12, and Unos finishing just right after with the time at 2:31:37. So GG to those two as well.
Congratulations to the runners who have completed. It is not easy, as we can see. Not easy in the slightest.
No, and kudos to Mike for going on. I think the first time I played a seed, I forfeited, or it was a really, really long time, just because I didn't quite know what I was doing.
Oh yeah,
And that happens. And as you get better, you know, things improve. He has already been here. Oh, this is
the
Golbez.
Golbez. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
the Golbez spot.
But
I think I think he's doing this because he's under the impression that defeating the Mist Dragon spot is what gets you to the reward from Cecil's deceased mother in the Village of Mist.
Yes, which
And I've
unfortunately
definitely made that mistake myself.
I think we've all, you know, made those mistakes, at least one. Well, we'll see. I think he can take gold, as long as
he wins the lottery.
well, you know, if Cecil survives, if the Shadow Dragon isn't hungry for Cecil and Edge.
See, who's he hungry for? He's hungry for Cecil.
Oh, that's
He's hungry for Edge.
Edge,
Oh
of
man.
course.
Oh, that's just the worst.
Oh, and Kane, of course.
Kane.
Oh, that is really unlucky.
That is actually the worst outcome. Wow.
That is. No, actually, if he is on the ball, although has he gone up ordeals? Yes. So if he casts wall, cast wall, not life 2. Oh,
Well, Golbez can only target one character at a time. Oh, Rosa misses with life 1.
Rosa doing her own Telelife impression. But
Well, and
he's
Cecil
still
takes care of him.
surviving. And thankfully, Miss Dragon's HP is, I believe, shut at 420. So
Is it? I
3,700.
thought it was 500.
Maybe it's 500.
I think it's 500. Although I don't know. I'm not entirely that. Shout out to 420. Why not?
One shot it. So definitely good. So I think he thinks, but he's already beat.
Yeah,
he beat
he's already
Miss Dragon
beat Miss Dragon.
previously, so he didn't need to do that. And now he has the hood, and now he's going to go on a magical journey.
Oh yes, because he gets to play so much more game.
Yes,
So much more game.
absolutely. But again, hey, again, shoutouts to him for continuing on. It would just be easy to just kind of dot forth.
Absolutely.
At this point.
Absolutely.
Definitely sell what you don't need. Get some money. Get some stuff you do want.
Yeah.
You do have the hook now, so you can go and get another adamant armor, just super casual.
Speaking of which, he's got one. I don't think he even realized he had that adamant armor.
Don't know. Oh, leave the adamant on. Don't.
Now, here's a question, Neats Guy. Does the glitch happen even if you re-equip the adamant armor?
I think it undoes itself, but I'm not 100% on it. I would think that it would re-give the attributes back.
I would hope so.
I would hope so as well, for his sake, because that'd be very sad. And just not knowing, when you speedrun this game or just watch speedruns, there are places in this game that you don't even go. So, like going to Silvera, going to the Adamant Grotto, going to Sealed Cave, going to the Fame Arch, going to Sylph Cave. So, if you're not familiar with those places or, what the other items do, he's looking at Lip Bolt. Unfortunately, Lip Bolt's no good. He should be selling that to get that out of his inventory, but he might just not know. It's just a lack of familiarity with what's going on there. So
Well, it definitely forces you to actually approach the game from a more completionist standpoint when you're learning things, so that you understand where you have to go when you are faced with a 17 out of 17 like this one was.
Exactly. Just to the chat, Mayo Mike's not new. He might be new to FE, but he has a very good time. He has, I believe, a top 3 time for Paladin percent on speedrun.com. He has a sub 59, so he knows the game. I think the problem is he's just not familiar with those, as Muppet said, those other components of the game, like running around with the whale and going to Evelyn Castle, or going to Eggert, going to wherever. Does item dupes still work in Rando? No, if you look at the G flag, so we have the ability to turn that on and off. So it has been turned off for this set of flag. Just, looking in here, another finish in 27th. Epic Ranger. I think I'm saying that right. The time of 2:36:02, so GG to him on that finish, and those sweet SRL points that you can sell, trade at srlpoints.com. Tell your friends. Let's just see. A spoiler, actually. Speaking with the guy, they do not. So, I've actually never seen that before, where the NPCs actually tell you some stuff. So that's definitely an interesting twist. That's for sure. Sometimes it pays to read, folks. Sometimes.
It always pays to read, Neats Guy.
I've never talked to those characters in FE, so I didn't realize that they actually tell you something different.
Some of them can even tell you what to do, and that was an addition that Boardface and Rivers were talking about adding with the last version update. Was having them tell you things like, oh, the next thing that you're looking for is somewhere around here, or have you thought about seeing the people of this town?
Interesting. I had heard that there were some changes. I didn't realize specifically what was being changed, but those would all be great improvements, especially if you're new and trying it out and you're not quite sure, what to do or where to go. It would definitely help.
Now, I'm wondering what Mike is thinking right now. He's flying back and forth.
Yeah, he's still probably, if he realizes the hook, he can go to Eblin Cave and at least get access to underground and go from there. But I don't think he realizes that Eblin Cave connects to, and I always get this confused, Upper Babel.
I believe it's lower.
Well, I had a 50% shot there. I always get those two confused. I'm looking at 7th floor, and they're like, oh, that's Lower Babel. And I said, but it's the 7th floor. And they're like, yeah, just deal with it.
Is it 7B?
It might be. I might be misreading it. It's reading is hard, as I've learned.
See, that's why it's important, Neats Guy. That's why it's important. Kids, stay in school.
Yes, definitely. So we're going to see. I think it just might be a lack of knowledge at this point.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm wondering if he sees the hovercraft, if he remembers that he can pick it up.
If he remembers, I hope he does. Or again, he has Baron Key. I don't think he's cleared that up because I think Baron Key.
He's looking at it. He's looking at it.
No, don't land.
No.
Oh. Going into Damsian. But why? You've already got the hovercraft.
I'm wondering if he's thinking that maybe there's something else. There's a pot there.
There is a pot there. I did not know that. MP
Keep
recovered.
learning.
Oh,
We're learning
spoilers.
things.
I feel like this one's HP recovered. And status. Can go to Kaipo. Wow. Wow, I'm learning so much.
Huh. So this is actually a nice little feature right here is what it's turning out to be. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, there is also a treasury, which I don't think he's gone into, that usually has some decent items.
Now, here's a question. Has Mike ever run no credit warp or no 64?
I don't believe so. And that might be
important. Yeah, I think so. I think that could be it because do you use the hovercraft in no credit warp, right?
You use it in terms of parking it at Mount Hobbs, and then you leave it there.
Oh, you don't ever pick it up?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I guess you wouldn't because the run basically ends in the dwarf cave or in the dwarf castle. Yeah.
If you're in no 64, then yes, you would pick up the hovercraft and bring it over to Eblin Cave. So he's coming to Kaipo. He does not have the sand ruby, so he's not able. I don't even know who's there. I can't remember.
I think it's one of the twins. Either that or Tella. I remember it being a dismissible character. So one of the things that I would like to highlight about this moment is I'm hoping what Mike is doing is he's stopping himself and he's just thinking, what have I done? What do I need to do? Sometimes taking a minute, a literal minute, and looking at what you have, looking at where you've gone and where you potentially could go, will open you up to the ideas that will lead you to the next moment.
Chat telling us Yang is sleeping in the back.
Yang was at Sand Ruby. Okay.
That would explain why I did not see Yang the whole run. Who independent sources have told me is the second best character in the game.
He's the best character in the game.
Second best, according to these sources. He's close to best.
I love Yang. I go to the Church of Yang on
On all the days?
yeah, not on
Some
all
days.
yeah, on most of the days. On most of the days.
What is...
I see
he
those
gonna-
cat claws and I just can't help myself.
I totally get it. He can do some deeps. That's absolutely for sure. Edge, I would not disagree with you, Dark Edge. Edge is the best.
Oh,
Rosa is also
yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah, Rose
If
is
you've ever seen Rosa Berserked with Artemis arrows, it's actually quite a sight to see. He's going to go back into... I feel like this might be a roadblock.
Well, this is basically a learning experience, is what this is. I remember running a seed that Couch sent me, Couch_23 sent me, where he didn't tell me what time he got. He just told me I should run the seed and then tell him how I did. And I think my time was somewhere in the 2-hour 30 mark or something like that. And he said he had completed it in 1 hour 5 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I asked, oh my good Jesus, how did you do that? And he asked me a series of questions like, did you know that you could do this? Did you know that you could do that? Did you know you could find a character here? I didn't know about most of the trapped chests that existed in the game. Just by going through that with somebody who's a little more experienced than I was, and a seed that challenged me like what Myo Mike is experiencing right now, definitely made me a better runner. These are the growing pains that you have to go through in order to get to the point where you can actually do some of these flags.
No, absolutely. And sometimes you don't learn unless you do. And he is going to take down the Mac Giant, which should give him 31,000. Is King gaining 18 levels is nothing to sneak.
I think he's really looking for Kane and Edge to gain some sweet hit points right now.
Yeah, I think so too. Unfortunately, Rosa did take a dirt nap, so she did not enjoy sweet experience game.
Yeah, Rosa's been sleeping an awful lot on Myo Mike's stream right now. I get the sense that in addition to the hardships with knowledge on the game, he's also having a bit of tough luck with some of the damage rolls and some of the targetings that have been happening here.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think it's just a combination of those things. Combination of not realizing it was glitchless. Just, small things that he will learn, and he will take that, into the next one. And he's smartly realizing that these 3 encounter packs are not something he really wants to fool around with. So
I wonder what he's looking for right here. Because if he is looking for the one encounter that I'm thinking about, we may be able to highlight something.
I don't know if he's looking for the actual grind fight.
He could be. He may have seen it somewhere and decided, you know what, why not?
That's true. We'll see.
Yeah, here we go.
You were correct, as always.
Yeah, there we go. So what he's doing now is one of the things that anyone who's run No 64 is very familiar with, this grind fight. The Searcher and 2-Beamer encounter can come up with a couple of things. Whenever the Searcher is solo and gets hit by anything, he summons a monster, and it can be one of 2, I believe, monsters. It's either a Horseman or a D-Machine. I think maybe a Mac Giant can also be in there now that I think about it.
On this level, it's either Horseman or D-Machine. Mac Giant
Okay.
is actually the level behind, which I believe in the Japanese speedrun is what they actually grind. Now,
So there's the horseman.
honestly, in running FE, I prefer horseman grind over D machine grind.
Really?
Well, because even though he didn't get the life off, it's much easier to kill the horseman, and the experience
Okay.
difference is not that much. You don't have to play with fire counter. You don't have to make sure you have weak time properly,
Okay.
and things like that. So I'm much happier to grind against horseman, especially he has. I'm not sure if he has 10 key items, but no, yeah, don't aim for the searcher, aim for the horseman. And
So the deal with this grind fight though is that you want to keep the searcher alive, and so you whack the searcher with a low-powered weapon, and it summons the monster. You kill that monster, you rinse and repeat, and you can do something called the life glitch, where you use a life potion, or if you're in a pinch, the life 1 spell, to target a monster as it's dying. And what that does is it targets the life spell and revives the target with an equivalent hit points to its stamina times 50, I think, something like that. But every monster that you encounter has a stamina of 0, so it revives the monster with 0 hit points, which counts as another kill. So it's a kill dupe.
Rosa being alive there and gave some levels that will definitely be good. That should allow his survivability to go up just a little bit more there.
I didn't know you get cabins from that fight.
Usually I get cabins in tents. When I'm doing it and doing the life glitches, I find myself with an abundance of those items.
Oh, I think that was the D machine grind. That second searcher encounter that he got.
I see. I just looked away for a second.
So a lot of times what you'll see with speedrunners who are familiar is they'll go through and they'll kill 10, 15 D machines, and each of them are worth, I believe, 50,000 experience, something like that. And you just rinse and repeat and rinse and repeat, and then you keep anyone alive that you want to gain the experience. And with 10 key items, that ends up being enough experience to set you in the millions. I've seen a ridiculous amount, like 2.15 million experience from that fight.
Oh, really? I've never seen a number that high.
Yeah, I've overgrinded at that spot before, accidentally. I think I killed 10 and duped 11 out of it, so I had 21 kills with the 10 key items. And I ended up having, 2.15 million experience, and at the end of it, because Rosa was level 10, she was level 99 or something.
Nice.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. But that's the advantage of having the X2 flag on, is that you have that experience bonus, so it makes that grind fight even more valuable.
No, for sure. I'm always really bad at counting, so I always just look at my timer and go, okay, we're gonna grind for 5 minutes, and whatever I get is whatever I get. And in the seed of the week on Monday, I did that, and I came up just a touch short. I was about level 43. I'm like, all right, we gotta jump back in there and get some more level.
Yeah, on the seed of the week this week's seed of the week, I ended up doing the D machine grind, and if I were to do it by time, I would probably undergrind every time, because I always find myself having to recover in that fight.
Yeah, and that's why I'm not a big fan of the D machine grind. I know I had more than 10 key items, so I was getting double experience from Horseman. So and with life glitching them a couple of times, I was able to get the double life glitch, which I think
Ooh,
was
yeah.
just fluke. Yeah,
Yeah, if
I
you're
mean
fast
it's a
enough,
dream.
it's nice work if you can get it.
Yeah, I think just twice, just by fluke. I tried really hard, but it wasn't lining up properly. So
Eternal Tomato asks, would you continue to grind for levels at this point or look for a new strategy? Honestly, if it were me and I didn't know where to go and I wanted to think, because of the way my brain works, I would probably start grinding for levels and think about what my next move would be.
same
But,
here.
yeah.
At this point, if I didn't quite know what to do, I might back out to another area where I know the monsters aren't as devastating, for lack of a better word. I would probably just dip back to the underground because I've got enough hit points. I might just run in front of the Tower of Babel a little bit.
Maddie Kenny says, overkill is still a kill. That is very true.
Yes, absolutely. The higher level, like, see, here's the Mac Giant. So he might go against this. They have about, I think, 8,000 HP.
Now,
actually,
one of the keys to these kinds of grind fights is using the weak spell, which is one of the reasons why you'll see a lot of runners keep Mr. Tella, or as we see on that stream, Old Man Rama, because he knows the weak spell, as well as Fusoya knows the weak spell. So you take a monster with a very, very high experience point total, and you cast weak on it. Right, brings it down to like 1 to 6 or something like that. You bop it with a staff, kills it in one shot, rinse and repeat.
no, exactly. Like, and I know in the Japanese, at least at one point, they were using the Mac Giants to grind, because you didn't have to worry about weak, and you would have edge just dart. So it's definitely interesting.
I've never run the JP version of this. Horseman grind and Excalibur throwing?
Not Horseman grind, Mac Giant.
Oh, Mac Giant grind, and an Excal destroys it in one shot?
Pretty much.
Huh, no kidding.
Pretty much. I've only seen it a couple of times. The JP community is obviously a different community. They like to run
Totally.
To the end, as we can see on Billbotics side.
Oh, yes.
The extra, 14 minutes of mashing but use turbos. But that's another debate for another day.
They use turbos in the JP runs?
Yeah, the JP community is very pro turbo.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's
Look at that.
That's not bad, actually. I kind of am into that. If there's a lot of text mashing.
But in the Western world, we didn't get turbo standard controllers, so it would create, an unfairness.
That's true. That's true. I certainly don't have one.
And I think that's what, like, I know there are some communities that are kind of warming up to turbo, but like I know Earthbound, I think they've accepted turbo. So
interesting game to use turbo on. I like it.
Absolutely. Like for that, I totally get it. So again, I'm not quite sure what Mike is doing at this point. He's going to go out and he's going to go into Triad Castle. I wonder if he's going to climb Zod, but
he doesn't have the Earth Crystal. Oh,
no, he thinks maybe he can get an item from Edward, and he's going to be sadly mistaken.
Yeah.
Edward peed the bed. Gonna go. That's literally what Edward says. Yeah, absolutely, Dark Edge. Turbo makes it unfair in a game, so that's a bigger debate beyond what we're doing here. Let me just check something really quick.
So Mio Mike is searching every little nook and cranny that he can, except for using the hook. I think that's just gonna stump him until he figures that particular part out. All right, it looks like our time slot is done. So we're going to have to cut it off here. Again, thank you to all of the runners who came out to do this, and big props to Mio Mike for just muscling through and continuing to run this place after place. Congratulations to El Megas, who came in first, and to all the runners who actually finished it as well. It is not an easy seed, as we were able to see.
No, absolutely. Again, shout out to everyone who gets out there every week. We do run this twice a week on Mondays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, not 9 anymore, 6:30 on the West Coast. And we do run this now every Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. We will be here on one of your speed gaming channels, maybe Speed Gaming 8, the Ocho in the future. And on Mondays, we run on, I believe, Randomania, maybe Randomania 8, the Ocho as well. So
I'm holding out for the Ocho.
I am as well. So thank you again to everybody in chat for hanging out. And thank you to you Muppets for commenting. You do.
And thank you, Neat Sky.
You do top tier work. It has been fun.
Me too, man. Had a blast. Thanks.
All right. Thank you all again. Have a wonderful evening.